in Norfair without the Varia, and they will not have to go into Meridia without the gravity suit. But it looks like we are underway.
But they probably will do things like that anyway because these are high caliber runners and they're going to want an edge on each other. So I could see them doing that even if it's not required. As you said, we are underway. Both runners are going to make their way down in this first room. They're not going to go down to where the morph ball normally is because we're not ready to go down there yet. There's not a lot of items down there. We're off to Link to the Past, and we're going to do that by going through this door. And hi, Link.
Yeah, there are 4 portals essentially that link the 2 games. And just bombs on the island.
That's one item out of the way, so we know bombs are on the Helia Island. We're not going to be concerned with that today. Not yet, anyway. We probably never will. That was a heart piece in Link's house, and now we're in the Sanctuary. Ooh, there's the Moon Pearl already. We have an orb.
Alright, so we're looking for key items that will allow the runners to progress through the game. And Moon Pearl, combined with a couple other items, will allow Dark World access. Moon Pearl can be kind of a limiting factor on how far you can go in Link to the Past. And so, early Moon Pearl, these runners should be happy to see that.
They should be very happy to see that. Even if there is a limitation on other items that you get, that will at least let them get into the Dark World, provided they can get the items to access one of those Dark World points. One of the things that runners typically don't like to see, as Hitaka is doing the Houlihan strategy, a little trick to make the game confused where he is, get 225 rupees in a special room that he's landing in right now. One of the things that runners don't like to see is finding early swords and possibly Kate, because that means that they may have to go to visit a certain wizard known by Aghanim, the name Aghanim, and may have to get to the Dark World that way. That's very costly in time.
And another thing that could trigger an Agaseed would be what's under the Lumberjacks, but Osse just checked it, and it's just blueberries.
Yep. Off to the Lost Woods. We are getting a map check. I saw crystals at Eastern and Desert. I didn't see what Harrow was.
Now, for those of you wondering why Hitaka confused the game as to where he was to get those rupees, rupees are a limiting factor early on. 225 rupees will allow him to buy bombs if he needs to, will allow him to buy the bottle vendor check. And we found super missiles in Lost Woods. Osse finding some rupees and is going to drop down into the Thieves' Hideout.
And we're already getting a quick check of the race game from Hitaka here. There's a missile in the, I think it's a pack of 5 missiles actually in the hole in the Lost Woods. Let's see what Hitaka finds in the race game. 15 seconds. Go, go, go! They usually do it in 9, 10 at most.
Yep.
But let's see where he ends up today. It looks like it's just a missile, and he's just not even going to bother finishing. He's out of there.
Absolutely. So we've seen the south route from Hitaka and the north route from Osse. Both runners eventually will do all these checks, so we'll have some overlap at some point. Look like a super missile in the library. So again, until these runners find Morph Ball, there is not much of a point in going back into Super Metroid. You can't do much in Super Metroid without Morph Ball, so that's what the runners are really looking for in terms of key items there.
Of course, the exception is there could be 2 items located in the bottom area where the Morph Ball normally is. That could be the progression in Link to the Past, even if they can't do anything in Super Metroid. So that's something you won't see a lot of runners gamble on. More something you'd see in a 2v2 randomizer, where you'd have 2 runners checking the same seed and basically sharing their items or something like that. We found a mushroom in the chicken hut, by the way. But in the regular 1v1 scenario, you're not going to see a lot of that. And the chicken is going to camper Osse, try to get I have seen that before. That is funny.
The other spot that the Morph Ball could be is the first item in the Norfair Business Center, where they would come out if they were to use the Death Mountain access to leave Link to the Past and go to Super Metroid. The first check before the high jump room can be Morph Ball.
Bottle Vendor has a shield today. We just found that with Hitaka. And checking the well right now, I heard a piece of heart or Architect or something along those lines.
Piece of heart to look like, yep.
There's some regular sticks. The 5 arrow bundle, which is actually not in the current version of the basic randomizer. There's the Fire Rod.
Fire Rod, okay. So Fire Rod, usually a required item to have it to be both Skullwoods and Turtle Rock if those are required.
Now to Blind Set. We have 5 more items in here. What we're going to do is we're going to head upstairs. We're going to vandalize the northern wall. We're gonna push some blocks to get the other 4 items. I can confirm that we had number 6 crystal at Tower Hera. I saw that this time. Our tracker did catch that briefly.
Oh! Holy moly! Oh!
Whoa, Blind! What are you doing?
Whoa! Morph, boots, and silver gauntlets. Holy cow! All right, the action is happening really quickly. I don't think we've seen power bombs.
Yeah.
And without power bombs or morph ball bombs, it again will limit a little bit of progression, but it opens up some checks.
So the best way to describe the blind set we just witnessed, that escalated quickly.
Absolutely. If that was Hype Cave, that would be a 15 out of 10 Hype Cave. But yeah. All right.
Well, to answer the question in chat, the Moon Pearl was in Sanctuary.
Yes. Very early Moon Pearl. And I'm going to go ahead and get the supers in the library real quick. Again, supers are going to be required throughout much of the game. And if they don't find Charge Beam, you're going to need a lot of supers to beat Ridley and Mother Brain. All right. This is definitely one of the fastest starts I've seen to a seed in quite some time.
Well, they have the boots. That's natural, isn't it?
The boots helps, yeah. Early Morph Ball without having to fight for it. Moon Pearl and Silvers, so with a hammer, they can access Dark World pretty easily. Or if they find their golds, then they can access through north of Kakariko Village.
Okay, so we are not going to get our first look at the South Shore, and thank you for not paying attention to my pun there either. So we are going to the South Shore. We're going to get to the dam right now, and actually, yeah, I thought I was going to skip it for a second, go a different way, but he is going to the dam. I thought he might be going to Agina for a second. So he's going to push a couple blocks here, well, all the blocks here to get the chest. Then he's going to leave.
Plasma.
Nice.
All right. Look like Super Metroid's going to be easy.
He's going to re-enter. He's going to push the blocks a different way. He's going to get to the switch in the back. And he's going to get an item that's currently not visible in the water. Almost at the Anti Fairy there.
After this, probably going to go to Mini Muldrum Cave. Ooh, Hitaka with a boots check. West of Bonk Cave. And just missed.
Okay. Osse decides to go ahead and pick up the bombs. I'm curious why. He was almost maxed out, if not already maxed out. So, over to Mini Muldrum Cave at this point. Hitaka seems to be going to the back of Escape with the Power Glove. So there are 3 items back there. Osse is in the more item-dense location right now with 5 items. Mini Muldrum Cave, so named because of these Mini Muldrums. That's why it's Mini Muldrum Cave. So seeing the back of Escape first, we have a burrito, we have a piece of heart, and we have a big 20. Nothing worthwhile. So watching Osse now fighting the Mini Muldrums.
And this is why I definitely want to be maxed out on bombs. He's using every single one he's got.
That makes more sense now. I guess he didn't have the magic for the fire rod, unfortunately, so that wasn't an option anyway. There's a heart container.
Oh, there's the hammer! All right, we have Dark World access.
Dark World access and a lot of Super Metroid access. This is already looking free, and you know what that means when we see an almost free seed already.
Oh, something is going to go horribly wrong.
Something's going to go horribly, horribly wrong, yes.
All right, so Osse on the way out to check the Ice Rod Cave. Do have to be careful of these crabs that are walking around. They deal 2 hearts apiece. Not a lot of room for error this early on in the game.
That suggests right away this area is meant to be visited later, but you can actually visit this area in the vanilla game and get the Ice Rod before even going to Eastern Palace, if you so choose, I believe. You come down here before you even go to Eastern Palace and pick that up. So you can use that in the Land Molus fight. You can actually beat Land Molus with the Ice Rod. Fun fact. And there was one randomizer race, and I won't name who or when it was, but runners were forced, for progression purposes, to actually fight Land Molus with the Ice Rod and bombs, no sword. That was horrible to watch.
I think we're going to get a fake flippers check here. Maybe?
That's a water walk.
Oh, okay. A little bit different.
I don't know the mechanics for exactly how they set up the water walk, but Story of the water walk, less the run of the water, which is a lot faster than Big Footprint.
Yeah, and has the same effect of being able to get this check under the bridge.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna have to swim on the way out, though, I believe. And that's the super missile.
Trying to get a fake flipper, I'm guessing, because it can't. Yep.
Oh,
can't
was
swim.
he facing? Oh, I thought I might have done it wrong for a second there, but I guess he did it correctly. Ooh, I've actually done that wrong before and seen it soft lock there, so that's kind of scary when you see him jump a different way.
All right, so Hitaka went down into. Oh, then there's power bombs. Went down into the escape to check the prison area. We're gonna get a waterfall fairy check using fake flipper from Osse.
I'm curious he's doing this already because he only has 43 rupees. There's no way he's gonna be able to visit King Zora. He has to come back up here later. Maybe he's playing that with a catfish, perhaps, which is the only reason I can see for checking Waterfall Cave now.
And no progression in Waterfall Cave.
And Hitaka using the pot strats on the ball chain guard, and there he goes.
Looks like we're gonna get a ledge check.
That was the Arrow of Destiny.
Yes, it was.
That is a missile.
Nothing exciting on ledge. Alright, so Hitaka did find some power bombs, but probably wants one more pack of them, and we'll do these checks before going back into Super Metroid. But with power bombs and Morph Ball in Super Metroid, it opens up about 50 checks. And so at some point soon, we should see Hitaka go back in, but having not checked Mini Moldrum Cave yet, Hitaka is definitely going to want to get the check density from that.
The guys are going to retrace each other's steps at this point, and I think they're both at the conclusion there's not that much they can do in Link to the Past right now based on their current item pool, except for the hammer. They have Dark World access, but that's about... Yeah, I guess they could do that if they want to.
We're probably going to see a Hype Cave check. I think Osse is going for it right now. Yep, we're going to see a Hype Cave check, I bet.
Yeah, but aside from that, I don't know of a lot of dungeons they can do right now. That's what I was trying to get at there. There's not a lot of dungeon clearing options I see, except for maybe Thieves Town. That might be, and maybe part of Skull Woods. Actually, they can complete Skull Woods with Firewall. I take that back. But they don't have a sword to get to the back. They still would need a sword to do that.
Yep, and with no blue mail or anything yet, and still very low life. Oh my goodness!
Map check. Number 5 is Turtle Rock. Blue and red are at Thieves Town, which I just mentioned, and Misery Mire, the miserable red pendant. Okay.
All right, Hype Cave.
Get your hype in for Hype Cave, chat. We have some bombs to start off. Will we have some hype or will we have some white? We have a heart container, or piece of heart rather. We have a big 20.
Screw attack, and 300
bucks. All right, big Nuki, rate that Hype Cave.
Screw attack, you got to give it at least a 5. Screw attack's huge.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, so Screw Attack in Super Metroid will allow the runners to kill any enemy, non-boss enemy, in one hit. And so it makes life a lot easier. They already have Plasma Beam as well, but it makes their path through Super Metroid quite easy. And so...
going to Stumpy.
Yep.
That was a weird randomly placed mine in front of Ice Rod Cave.
That's what I thought too. I was watching Hitaka try to avoid that. Alright, so heart container and Stumpy. And Osse has enough money to go play the dig game. Let's see how trolly the dig game's gonna be today.
And by that he means 1 to 30 digs. If you see it in 1, you're happy. If you see it in 30, you're kind of upset. At least you know your opponent's gonna be doing the same thing. It's on 7 today, and all this is a bomb upgrade, so not really anything worth writing home about. He's trying to get a little more money for Zora, I believe. And aside, that's enough. He's not having that much luck at it. And
Hitaka is back. It did not take a Dark World check, and is into Super Metroid. And on the way down to Brinstar.
Osse might be heading over to Hyrule Castle right now. There's an arrow capacity in Super Metroid.
Osse may not have power bombs yet. Okay, so Hitaka's going to check the back of Gauntlet. again, we have not found we're suitless and have not found any. Ooh, Ice Rod on the back right of Gauntlet.
Oh, nice.
So we have not found any E-Tanks, and we're suitless still. So Super Metroid is going to be a little bit dangerous here. The runners will have to definitely watch their health management. Again, both these runners are very good, but it is something to be careful of because they're going to go into areas where some of the enemies will deal up to 80 damage a hit.
And some of the rooms also in some of the later areas also suck your health just by being in the room. So, though I think that's mainly Norfair and Meridia, if I'm not mistaken, from what I understand.
Yeah, heated rooms in Norfair.
Right.
So, without various suit. And, oh, there's Kane underneath the mock ball area.
Wow.
So, oh boy.
So, to quote a certain commentator, I'm not going to do the wrenching that's involved. That's got to be Kane.
Alright, so one thing to note here is Hitaka did a mock ball, which is a trick used to maintain your speed while on Morph Ball, and you're not normally supposed to have access to this area without Speed Booster, so that puts anything he finds here out of logic. So this sword is technically out of logic still.
But much appreciated nonetheless.
Absolutely. Now the cane is in logic. You can get the cane without having to do the speed boost. So the cane is in logic, but that sword is not that it really matters. Alright, there's power bombs for Osse.
And it's interesting that is considered a sequence break. It's just the same as if you found it at the fake flippers or something like that. We found half magic, by the way, for
and our first bottle, I believe.
Yep, that's the bottle right there.
All right, so a lot of really key early check items. Okay, now watch Hitaka's health here. It looks like he's gonna maybe farm some health with these spikes and with these enemies. This is a dangerous area. And Osse taking a death warp.
Those intentional dirt naps can be very comfortable sometimes.
Oh, and wave beam. So they have plasma wave already. Hitaka does, and presumably Osse will probably head this way.
Some pretty good items early in Super Metroid today.
There's good items in both games early, yeah.
Both games are really early, but noting Super Metroid, I think this is one of the better item concentrations I've seen this early in Super Metroid.
Yeah, Hitaka's hasn't been marked yet, but Hitaka does have Kane. Now remember, Hitaka did not get the screw attack. It would make his life a lot easier because you have iframes while you're in screw attack as well, but unfortunately did not grab that. All right, silvers.
Yeah, that's silver arrows. So that has one very important effect. It makes a lot of insta-kills possible on bosses in certain situations. It also makes the Gan fight a lot easier.
Yes. All right, so those big enemies that Hitaka just killed one and bypassed the second one, those enemies do 80 damage to Samus while suitless. And so one hit would put you near death, and a second hit will, obviously. And so navigated the room well. Again, plasma helps that. Spore spawn skip, okay. So there is a super missile block that Hitaka just shot out. If you stand on a precise pixel, you can shoot that out from the back and you avoid having to beat an optional boss called Spore Spawn that is a very time-consuming boss. And is Osse going into the cave dark? He's gonna do Old Man from the front.
Yep.
All in the dark.
And it should be noted that just like the sword in Super Metroid, this is a sequence break. Whatever the Old Man gives, whatever is in Spectacle Rock right now, that is all going to be a sequence break. If we find the lantern or the flute up here, that means the other one or access to Super Metroid is required to get up here.
Oh. And Hitaka nearly died.
And there's your power bombs. So not really a sequence break yet.
All right, so Hitaka got the wave gate check. Didn't have to do the glitch because he found wave beam.
So I didn't quite catch on Spectacle Rock. I think it was arrows on Spectacle Rock. And inside, was that a mirror?
I did not catch it. I was watching Hitaka find an E-tank.
He's going back for it. It is something important, so I think it was the mirror. We're going to see in just a
Okay.
second here. And there are no hint tiles in this version. Yeah, it is
There
the
it
mirror.
is.
Yeah, there are no hint tiles in this version. I think that is being worked in the next version of the randomizer. We'll see when that is set up, but I have heard that that is something they'd like to incorporate.
And as Chad is mentioning, that mirror is in logic because the runners do have access to get to the Norfair Business Center, which they could then use to access Death Mountain.
Ah, okay.
What you see Hitaka doing? Hitaka's farming power bombs. Again, they have not found that many power bombs, and because they don't have morph ball bombs, they have to use power bombs for everything to get around. And these couple slug-like enemies are the quickest place to farm power bombs in this area. So don't want to get soft-lock yourself in Super Metroid by not having enough power bombs to progress.
Okay, we are now in the Tower of Hera. We're going to be looking for a big key, which is not there. That's the small key. So there is a 50% chance that we're going to have to visit the basement to do Tower of Hera today. We're going to know in one chest whether we are visiting the basement or not. Going to the basement.
Going to the basement. All right. And again, Osse has not found a sword yet, but with hammer, Moldorm is not that difficult.
Yeah, it's actually easier with the with just the hammer than it is the fighter sword. You know, in some ways, because you can do a lot more damage with the hammer. You don't have to go through the enrage cycle on the last hit, so you can just take it out without even getting upset at you. I mean, taking out the boss without it getting angry—that's the best way to take out the boss.
Absolutely, yeah. 3 hammer hits as opposed to 6 fighter sword hits. The last one having to be done while enraged will definitely make life easier. Again, a very dangerous room here. All these enemies that Hitaka's avoiding, 80 damage per hit right now. Navigates it very well, finds a heart piece.
Osse completes his early coffee break. He is getting down to the fire lock section right now. And we're going to like 2 more. There we go. What's in that big key has to be in the chest, so there it is. And
all right,
now he can have Sarah and he can take on Mulder.
Absolutely, and we'll find out where the last item is at, whether it's on Moldorm or in the big key chest.
Hitaka decides to pick up the big 20 there.
When you're in the room, may as well grab it. Know you're going to need money for King Zora.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting the early checks here. Just bombs there, just bombs there. Gonna go up to the Billy Mays room because there's an obvious item, but wait, there's more. There'll be a hidden item. And again, somebody has asked him why Hitaka was farming power bombs. Apparently wanted to go this way. Down to 3 power bombs. Beautiful jump. That's not an easy jump.
Ooh.
Oh, do they fall?
Osse taking the fall of shame. The fall of shame. Back to the ground floor.
Mirror was in Spectacle Cave, yep.
Spectacle Rock Cave, yes.
Alright. So again, Osse doing a few more checks in Link to the Past early, where Hitaka decided to go right into Super Metroid. So one of the nice things about this randomizer is there's not one correct way to do it, depending on what items you found and where you feel comfortable. Getting your item checks in different orders. Nothing's stopping you from doing that.
Now, some of the worst seeds are the ones that are absolutely linear, that you have to go in a certain direction to satisfy what the seed wants you to do. Kind of like some Nintendo games, ironically enough. But those are sometimes the worst seeds because sometimes it can just take a little while just to figure out what the game wants you to do, and then you have to do that. Then you have to realize there's something else the game you need to figure out you want to do. It can be a little. It can make some scenes take a lot longer than they would if you knew where everything was. There is the blue mail as well in the big chest.
All right, blue mail will make life easier in Link to the Past, especially if they're going to be going into Dark World early, which they have access to. Some of those enemies deal a lot of damage. All right, Hitaka having to make the climb back up here into Criteria.
And it's time to fight a worm on Osse101's side. This will be our first boss fight in either game today. Already 2 hits, very nice. Oh, Moldorm was very friendly today. That was a very good pattern by Moldorm. So we have an item coming from Moldorm, and we have a crystal to follow. The item is a burrito. I wasn't counting, so I didn't pick that up. And we have our first crystal.
All right, no Troll Dorm today. Very well done by Osse101.
Well, you may strike back later. We'll see.
Haha.
And Hitaka going to the Morph Ball Bomb room and going to get whatever item is in that spot today.
And as a note, he will not have to fight the Torizo here, because if you do not have Morph Ball Bombs, it does not trigger the fight. And if you haven't been keeping track, all Hitaka's been finding, basically, are rupees. Lots and lots of rupees in Super Metroid.
Well, except for the early item rush, but yeah, since then, a lot of rupees.
Yes.
Osse is going through Spiral Cave right now. He can do it a lot faster thanks to those lovely shiny wing boots he's wearing. So once he makes his way around here, there'll be an item down there. And he falls in as Hitaka gets back to the ship. And the item in the chest is a big 20.
Alright, is Hitaka gonna go check Gauntlet? It looks like it.
Yep, it seems so.
These jumps are not easy, but again, these runners make the difficult tricks look quite easy. I think there's a 3-pixel window to make this second jump. There it is. All right, we're gonna get a lot of checks real quick here on Osse's side.
So after dealing with 3 more mini Moldorms, we'll be able to leave the room, but not before we collect the 5 chests in the back here. And they include power bombs, an E-tank, some sticks, another dead mini Moldorm. Okay, he wants to live for a while. Heart container, and ooh, the ugly green root. Oh, it looks like Osse saved and did a hard reset so he can go straight to Super Metroid. So that's where he's heading right now, to the ship.
And just a piece of heart in the first part of Gauntlet, but again, we know that the Ice Rod, and Hitaka knows that the Ice Rod is in the back right spot. And so we will see that. And again, you're looking at Osse using that screw attack, trying to make the same jump to head to the same spot Hitaka's at. And screw attack will make life easier to going through this Gauntlet cave, because instead of using power bombs, you can just screw attack through them. And again, this second jump is not easy. There we go.
Okay, he's making it in. And the entry reward we'll be seeing in a moment. That screw attack also makes these a lot easier too.
Yes, yes. Hitaka found the entry reward. It was the piece of heart.
Oh, right. Okay.
And where does Hitaka go from here? I'm guessing down Red Tower. Because they do not have access to Wreck Ship yet. No gravity, no spring ball. Alright. Osse's going to be happy to find the Ice Rod. Again, Turtle Rock is a pendant dungeon, so it's going to be required. And there we go.
Collects his ice rod.
Hitaka does have Wave Beam. Yes, Wave Beam was found fairly early. Down in Brinstar? No, I'm spacing out. Yes, down in Brinstar.
Yeah, it was.
We'll see Osse get it here in just a little bit. And into Red Tower Hitaka goes. So there are 3 checks down here. Oh, the Etacoons. Yes, thank you. Somebody reminded me. All right. More super missiles. Never a bad thing to have. We are still looking for progression, though.
Yeah, we're not finding a lot in terms of progression. I think in either game, to be honest.
No, it was such an early start, but
yeah, Osse's gonna probably go ahead and get the sword while here as well. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. He's gonna get the cane as well that you just saw.
absolutely, yeah. The mock ball is this mock ball in particular is not a ooh. We have our first medallion.
Yeah, he's gonna get that on the way back. I think. Yep, that was Ether.
Ether. I missed it was Ether or Quake, but yeah, Ether it is. And a nice damage.
I needed a second look myself there. To explain that Ether medallion very quickly as well, there are 2 dungeons in the bottom row of the tracker, which you can see with a circle on them, a blank circle. Those represent medallions. We don't know what those medallions are yet, but they will open Misery Mire and Turtle Rock respectively. That Ether medallion is one of those 3 medallions that can do that. The others are Bobos to the left and Quake to the right of where the Ether is marked on Hitaka's tracker. Those are the 3 medallions that could open the dungeons. We don't know which one is going to do what yet. We'll fill it in once we know it. We'll know what is needed.
Absolutely. Osse making quick work of these rooms with Screw Attack. Hitaka heading out to check what is normally Spazer. And just a single green rupee. Osse has not turned on plasma yet. One trick with this is when you get plasma, you do have to turn it on. He did get it in the dam earlier, and I think he just remembered. Yep. All right, Hitaka is heading over towards Kraid. Osse heading through Pink Bryn, doing the checks that we've seen. Gonna get his silver arrows right there.
He knows the gray door there. He can't go in there yet.
That is unlocked once the runners beat Kraid. All right. I'm guessing we're going to see a quick kill here.
Yep, we have 2 possibilities here for the Kraid fight, which is in the very next room, I believe. Kraid will come up, and he's going to try to invite Samus to the prom. If you get the quick kill, he doesn't get to go to prom.
So there's pretty precise timing window to get 4 super missiles off to kill Kraid without finding his normal stage, his second stage. And got it!
Nice. No problem yet.
Osse setting up that very nice Spore Spawn skip, firing that super missile through that little gap.
Samus, Hitaka will take that hurt piece though. The reward for being a Kraid, there'll be another reward in a moment.
So Kraid, one of those 4 required bosses you have to defeat in Super Metroid before having access to Mother Brain. So what runners are looking for at this point is progression items to get them either deeper in Super Metroid, which would be various pseudo gravity suit, or potentially Spring Ball can get you over the moat as well, and then items that will help them complete some dungeons in Link to the Past. So bow, hook shot. Those are the two big ones.
So Hitaka just got to the grade door that unlocked, and only 20 rupees in there. So, in a sense, a waste of time.
After the very exciting start to this seed, it's been very quiet since then. Let's see if High Jump Room has anything. And then if not, we will definitely see Hitaka going back into... Alright, so there was a heated room. You saw for just a moment Hitaka took damage while in that room. Without Various Suit, the runner, Samus, will take damage from heated rooms. Super Missile, and on the High Jump Boots pedestal itself... Just 20. Jeez.
Yeah, now the seed's getting a little stingy. I kind of suspected this would be the case. Well, when we had that early start, I said, well, that means that it's going to just get bad quickly. And sure enough, it got bad quickly.
Yes, it has. So here's a warp back into Zelda. This will take Hitaka to Death Mountain.
And High Link again. So I think it was Osse who was up here through the old man route. Hitaka is staying within logic by doing it without going through the...
Absolutely. He's gonna find the mirror and realize that he's gotta make this check.
He's gonna walk in, he's gonna see himself in the reflection and realize, I like that.
Haha. Absolutely. So Osse doing blue Bryn checks. And Hitaka's going to be doing the Death Mountain checks. So both runners kind of following in each other's footsteps here. Backtracking for us. Where? Okay, so Hitaka's gonna rescue the old man from the back entrance, again, in the dark.
Now, you know the old man doesn't have anything worthwhile, but this item would be a sequence break if it was. So, but we won't worry about that now because it isn't anything important.
So to note, a couple of places the runners have not checked that either runner could have checked so far. Sahasrala's Closet, near Eastern Palace, and a dip into Eastern Palace. Obviously, without the bow, can't complete it, but can do all but the Armos check, I believe.
Yeah, he can do the dark room in the main part of Eastern Palace, but
again,
the thing is that would again be a sequence break.
It would be an out-of-logic break. It is a pretty easy dark room to do. Oh, Hitaka trying to set up a Gen 1 trick. There we are. Trying to set up the super run. If you spin your sword, and then the moment after completing your spin, start a speed boost, you can speed boost in any direction. Alright. And up to Tower of Hera for Hitaka, getting a map check in Dark World.
We didn't see this from Osse already, but getting his first look at it. And heading over to Tower of Hera now.
Alright, and we're gonna get another boss fight from Osse. Let's see if we can get the Kraid quick kill a second time.
Or will Kraid go to prom?
And Hitaka's gonna have to go down and take the coffee break.
So while Hitaka takes a couple sips, We're going to see what Osse's response to the proposal is as Kraid comes up and fires super missiles. And Kraid is going to be rejected and lonely today. No one wants to go out with him.
And for anyone not familiar, we hype that up because that trick is not nearly as easy as it looks. The timing window is very precise to do that. So, impressive job by both runners. That is a trick that I have not gotten the hang of myself yet.
Hitaka is done drinking coffee. Gonna go light up the torches, get his big key.
Question in chat has been answered, but just to reiterate, yes, this is game one of the semifinals between these two runners. So in the semifinals, the runners do a best of 3 series. So first runner to win 2 out of 3 will move on, and the first run between Andy and Solsky will be over the weekend. That's your other semifinal.
Yep, that matchup, I actually will get that information right now as well. That matchup begins on January 26th at 2:30 p.m. for those keeping an eye out for that matchup. Game 1 is then, and Game 2 is January 27th. So that is Sunday and Monday.
Sunday and Monday. And then Game 2...
wait a minute. Hold on. I lied. That's Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. All right. And Game 2 for this matchup is tomorrow night, same time. Tomorrow night, my time, but 8:30 p.m.
All games are at this time in these next 3 days. Game 3 if necessary.
Oh, that's right. Yep, they schedule them all on back-to-back days. Right.
Works out from a scheduling standpoint for both matches as well. You got to race every day, basically. Works out nice.
And again,
Hitaka almost getting rejected by Moldorm. Moldorm was very, very close to bouncing him back up to the ledge.
Oh, had the last hit. There we are.
Not as nice a pattern for Hitaka.
And remember, if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, wherever you may be, make sure you give these runners a follow. These runners are both very impressive at this randomizer. Obviously, they've gotten to the semifinals. Thank you, Cyclone, for linking that in chat.
And both runners are exceptional at this game. I have seen Osse a number of times when we have the weekly events going on here on Sunday and Monday. There's usually a weekly event Sunday at, I believe it's Sunday at 3 Eastern and Monday at 9 Eastern. We have those weekly events going on with the combo randomizer that we're seeing right now. And I've seen Osse on that a lot. I've seen Hitaka on it a few times as well. I understand. Is that the fire rod being used in the dash?
Yes,
what on earth? I've never seen that.
Yep, you can item dash with any of the items and have be fire rod dashing.
I have never seen that. I think he's just doing that to show off.
We're gonna get a powder check.
As I was saying, Hitaka is, I was told, the world record holder in the combo randomizer right now, and Osse is just a superb runner. This should be a fantastic match. And fake powder attempt. Success! Yep. So this is officially a sequence break because he doesn't have the actual powder. And what he has for the sequence break is money!
A lot of rupees.
As the pedestal would say, a rupee horde. Heck yeah!
Hitaka getting the 7 Death Mountain checks right now. Oh, there was a shovel in there.
Yeah, I missed the shovel the first time. I was just noticed that too.
I missed the cave the first time too, so I was glad I caught it when Hitaka. So that'll open up one more check that I don't think we've seen Osse do. Ooh, beautiful. 3 for 1.
A 3-for. Gotta love him. So I think we're now going to get our look at the Village of Outcasts from Osse. He's heading to the north access point to the portal. He's getting a full magic jar out of the tree while he's at it. Good heads up thinking there on his way. So, heading to the Dark World, gonna go actually to Skull Woods, not the
Into
most
Skull
outcast, but
Woods?
Skull Woods.
Yeah. All right. Is completable. Has blue mail. So we'll make life a little bit easier.
And Hitaka seems to be heading to the Dark World as well.
Yes. So we may have the runners synced up here very shortly. We'll see if Hitaka decides Skull Woods is the right call, or if he wants to duck into Thieves Town. But Thieves Town being a pendant, Skullwood, or I'm sorry, Thieves Town. Yeah, Thieves Town being a pendant, Skullwood being a crystal. Runners are very likely to do Skullwood first. Couple of quick item checks, and they can complete the dungeon.
And they do have the sword, so they can get to the back to fight Mothman now completely. Not just the fire rod to enter, but the sword to get to the back, cut the curtain. So we can complete Skull Woods, but a fighter's sword, Mothman, I have a feeling they're going to use the hammer or the fire rod in that one.
Absolutely, yeah. Fire rod should make quick work of it. Both runners do have half magic, so that should make life much, much easier.
Mm-hmm.
The navigation of these dungeons is just so impressive. If anybody here hasn't run this game, or speedrun this game, or speedrun the randomizer before, try going and doing some of this, and you'll get a real appreciation for just how good these runners are. They make mundane tricks, or very difficult tricks look very mundane.
Yeah. It's a very hard game to learn as well, doing a combo randomizer like this. You would think that it's easy watching these runners, but trust me, some of this stuff is hard. And some of it is things I wouldn't want to do. So I wouldn't want to try doing it because I just wouldn't be good at it.
And it's as you predicted, Hammer by Osse.
Good fight.
Very impressive.
We have a dead bug, and we have a big key for being the dead bug. So this is one of those few dungeons. I believe there's just 2 of them. 3 if you count the ice, the bomb jump in Ice Palace, I believe. But there's just 2 dungeons that the big key is not needed to access the back at all.
So Hitaka found high jump boots.
Oh, where were those?
Where right next to where Osse is at right now. Osse went ahead and did the boss fight first. And then is going back for the check. Hitaka did it in a different order, and so high jump boots were one of the 2 items
down
in
here
Skull.
in this chest. Nice.
Yes, right there. Again, not necessarily required, but it gives a lot of better mobility throughout much of Super Metroid.
I would like to thank both runners for simultaneously giving us both checks at almost the same time. Great comparison.
Haha.
Hitaka juking out the Wallmaster, making sure that it doesn't do something I've seen a couple times, including once in Gan's Tower in an Randomizer seed, where you jump in the pit and it reaches down, plucks you out of the pit, and puts you right back at the start.
Yeah, so there are several pixels where you think you are in the pit and you can still take damage, be grabbed by Wallmasters, bad things can happen. And we saw another quick fight of a very different variety. Hitaka used the fire rod to great effectiveness. And dispatched Mothman. Oh, and Speed Booster!
That's our second item. They're done here.
So, Skullwoods wants to make Super Metroid go fast. High jump boots and Speed Booster. A number of more checks are opened up now. They can get into wrecked ship using a Shine Spark across the moat. So that is progression through Super Metroid.
High jump boots, Speed Booster, and Pegasus boots. It's now safe to say the speed run has begun. And Osse is now going to Graveyard Ledge, going to check the item in the cave in the Light World by warping over to it. And warping to that cave, going through a series of very oddly located pots. Why someone would leave their pot collection down here, I don't know. But we're going to find the flute! Start tooting.
Alright, again, quicker navigation. The game just wants these runners to go fast.
That flute will also help with navigation in every which way you can possibly think of, because now they're going to be able to flute around the light world and go from Death Mountain to the Swamp Palace or the desert area just in the blink of a toot of a flute.
And we saw King's Tomb check by Osse, just a super missile pack.
So I think this is our first actual look at the Village of Outcasts here today. I believe this is the C-shaped house that we're in now. Yep.
Yep.
And the chest in here is bombs, power bombs. Hitaka is not far away. He's gonna probably. Well, we might check Bumper Ledge first.
Or Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, he's going to Graveyard Ledge.
The chess game.
Did we see what Bumper Ledge was yet?
Yes, someone checked Bumper Ledge. I think Hitaka checked Bumper Ledge. I don't remember it being anything exciting.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Bumper Ledge. No, we saw Bunk Rocks. I don't think we have seen Bumper Ledge. My apologies.
Chad is already making horror show predictions of Gravity or Varia on Ped.
Ooh, man, haters in the house.
But not so much haters as Compromiser fans who just love to see the runners be tortured.
That's fair too. We do have Osse, who went into Thieves Town. Again, it's a pendant dungeon, but there are some checks you can do early on, fairly quickly. And so we are going to get some of those checks. Already found the big key.
They may go ahead and just finish the dungeon too, because at this point now we've already found 2 of the dungeon items. That means that there's 3 items. Make that 4 items buried in the back of Thieves Town that we worry about now. And we found the key, we found the compass, we found the map, we found the big key. That's all the dungeon items in the front of the dungeon.
Yep. And so they have to go into the back to find the items that this palace is holding. And
all 4 are back there.
And I've found it very common that the randomizer hides something useful in Thieves Town, pendant or not. Definitely with how quickly they can navigate this dungeon. Oh, and I missed the ledge check. Hitaka did it, and I missed it.
I tried to go back to the I didn't get it quickly enough.
Chat's saying it was the blue boomerang.
Well, we're coming up on the Sunshine Room right now. I was watching Osse going through Thieves Town here, so we're on the Sunshine Room, and he's going to open the chest, which is the first item here. It's a big 20. That reason I called out the Sunshine Room, by the way, is because of that nice ray of light that is now going through a freshly bombed hole in the ground. That freshly bombed hole in the ground is going to cause... tell you what, I'll let the spoiler resolve itself later for those new to the randomizer.
It is a required shaft of light.
Yes, you must shine the shaft of light. Otherwise, the dungeon is not completable.
Hitaka did the kid check.
And for those who played the game casually the first time and didn't have help, and they're like, "Why can't I find the boss? I want to find the boss, darn it!" Well, that's why you can't find the boss. You have to shine the light.
All right. Hitaka did check Sick Kid. There's the lamp. All right.
Now, not by logic a required item, but for runners, more of a nice to have, just for logic purposes.
All right. And Hitaka successfully did fake powder to find that 300 rupee, and looks like we are going to get our first unleashing.
So we're going to take this maiden and we're going to save her from the evil tyrant of this dungeon. So if we go out the northern door here, there's a window. Oh, look! It's not a maiden. A weeknight is a tiny nobleman. Oh, sorry.
All right. Blind just requires 9 hits, 3 per phase. Osse making it look again very easy.
Made it look good. Well, granted, it is a scripted fight because of where he starts. What was that? Was that
Ice Beam?
That was Ice Beam. I thought that was Ice Beam. Didn't want to say it.
And
so that's a very scripted fight, and he did that very, very well.
And the chat is feeling sad because the goose is loose, but we're listening to Osse, who has not loosed the goose yet, so we did not get a chance to hear the beautiful song.
Oh, he's gonna... Oh, I thought I was gonna mirror now. I thought I was about to do it. He's gonna do the brewery check first, and then he's probably gonna go loose it up. And just a super missile there. So Attack is now going to do the Tour of Thieves Town, get all the lovely dungeon items here in the front, and have to go exploring the back, get all the good stuff. So yeah, this is, while we've used the term Mullet Mansion to describe Palace of Darkness in the past, that's what the Thieves Town is today. All the business in the front. All the parties in the back.
Alright. Gonna get the cave check.
45. And he has still not loosened the goose, unlike making the chat even more unhappy. But he's probably going to go do that now. Actually, no.
Dig.
He's in a dig spot right now.
Yep, we haven't seen this yet, I don't believe.
And out with the time. And out. And that was a hard reset after that.
Into Super Metroid. Again, having found Speed Boost and High Jump, we're probably going to see a Shine Spark across the ledge into Wreck Ship, is my guess, because we don't have Vary or Gravity yet, so that's really the only thing they got opened up. We're going to get Criteria Power Bombs first.
Yeah, that was a very nice, quick Shine Spark there. Attack the Sunshine Room is open.
So this could get interesting because on 2 E-Tanks and Suitless, Phantoon is not an easy fight. If you don't have a lot of Super Metroid practice, Phantoon can be really mean. So while I'm guessing Osse is going to go into Wreck Ship because that's the only logical place that's really still been opened up by what they found, this Phantoon fight is not going to be friendly. Phantoon does... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, many of the Phantoon fights I've seen, they have like 4 or 5 energy tanks. They have some kind of suit. At least they have all the beams, but even with that, I can see that being tough, especially with only 2 energy tanks.
Yeah, because Phantoon's mainly a missile fight. Oh no! Trying to get that Shine Spark and go straight up.
Attacker getting his lamp.
Across the moat, grabbing the rupees on the way. Very nicely done. So we're going to see Hitaka onto blind very soon. And Osse is checking under the sea.
Under the sea, under the sea. Now stop.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah, you EQ'd it.
Chat's joining in.
Chat is allowed to sing it if they wish.
Alright, we're gonna get the... Osse disabled Speed Boost, disabled High Jump, because the vanilla jumping is much easier without having to mess with Speed Boost or High Jump. It does really affect your movement significantly having one or both of those on, so... And Hitaka making quick work of blind, finding their Ice Beam. Alright, the one check... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I cut you off.
The one check that can be done before Phantoon is right there. It's just a missile pack.
So, and at least we now concluded that why Blind had a cold reception to it.
Oh, very well done.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the puns.
So on to the Fantoon fight. This will be fun.
This will be something else. Oh man, if you have a weak heart, turn away here, because this could get interesting. This is going to be impressive.
This is either going to be impressive, or this is going to be a case where you're going to probably want to take a coffee break of your own.
Oh my, well that is an incredibly good first phase. It was a quick eye-opening. Osse took advantage and then got a lot of extra hits with the Doppler effect. Wow! Oh,
this is going great. Wow!
This will be he almost two-phased it. This is impressive.
Gonna get it on this phase, I think. Already dark
there it
red.
is!
And wow!
You will not see a much better Fantoon fight.
The only way to reference that, clean!
That was one of the more impressive Fantoon fights I see. You see some of the primarily Super Metroid runners like Zost and Oates do impressive Fantoon fights, but that was among some of the most impressive ones I've seen before.
That was very well done.
Now, not out of the woods yet though, because wreck ship, all the spikes, everything going on here, this is still a very dangerous place to be, suitless and low on E-tanks. So, oh, there we go!
That is a hook shot. There's your progression, ladies and gentlemen. Hook shot will open up the, well, granted, we already had access to Light Death Mountain with the hammer if we went right from Tower of Hera, but we now have access to all of Dark Death Mountain as well at this point, and a lot of other things like Swamp Palace. Gravity Suit!
And wreck ship is, paying off big time.
Wreck ship is the place to be today.
And wisely taking a save, because again, even with gravity suit, you get some damage reduction, but still a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of the blue or the red mail, I guess you could say, right?
Absolutely. The other thing it does is it allows access to Meridian now. So it does give damage reduction to Samus, but it also allows Samus to move freely in water, and so opens up a whole nother area of Super Metroid. So wreck ship was the play. I know many times in this tournament, wreck ship has been nearly empty and been a frustration for runners because they have to complete it, but it hasn't yielded much. Not today. Okay, so Hitaka just found Screw Attack in.
Yep, Hype Cave done.
And what Osse just did there is check the item and then go back to the save. Decided that the piece of heart wasn't worth the time to try to navigate back. And Osse's going to head up into what's called the Addict of Wreck Ship. Head up to the very top here. There's a couple checks, and then into the bowling alley for a couple more checks.
Did someone say bowling?
Absolutely. Alright. Where is Hitaka going? Hitaka is going back into Super Metro, or into Link to the Past? No?
Nope, passing the door. Probably going down to the, maybe he hasn't checked the Morph Ball spot yet?
I thought Hitaka was the first one to check.
So.
Speed Booster. There's a check right here. There's a check right here with Speed Booster. I forgot about this one. And Hitaka can also go down and check the waterway. He doesn't have gravity suit yet, but don't necessarily need gravity. You can do a short, not even a real short charge. Can't lose too much more health here, because that's a long tunnel to get up, and not going to bother with that, and does not look like they're going to go down back into Brinstar to check A bottle.
A bottle. Okay, doesn't want that. After seeing that Phantom fight, I think Osse is very confident in his boss skills here.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's okay. Swagnet. Doesn't want that either. I don't know how he's going to beat Aghanim without the Swagnet, though.
So, a couple of minor Zelda items that Osse not interested in. And it is time to go bowling. This is not going to be easy to navigate. You're going to take a lot of damage here. Alright, gets across. Again, without gravity, I don't know that would have even been possible. It would have been very, very close.
But he bowls a strike and he gets another coffee break.
We're going to see Hitaka Shine Spark across the moat shortly here. And Hitaka is going to definitely be excited after completing Wreck Ship here. I believe just got a glimpse of the Swagnet. Missiles there, and again, not interested in the bottle behind there. One final check where vanilla gravity is. Not that helpful. Alright, I think we're going to see Hitaka short charge a Shine Spark. And, oh, trying to get it. Okay, there we are, and going to Shine Spark across the gap. So, the way that works is, Super Metroid, when you're going to charge your speed booster, it only checks that you're running on certain frames of Samus's animation. And so by stutter stepping or starting your speed boost on a certain pixel of Samus's animation, you can actually short charge your Shine Spark. And so that's what we saw Hitaka do there. We might see it during the Dragon fight as well. Now, Hitaka looked like they were going to farm some health for a little bit there. Grabbed one, but we're going to see an even more dangerous Phantoon fight here because Hitaka is going for it.
And it is short one health contain or one energy tank here because it's empty.
Starting at 100 less health. Yeah.
There's that ether for Osse, by the way.
Osse had not checked the red tower checks yet, so got the ether.
Yep.
And here we go.
Here's Fanny.
That was a quick eye opening, but a quick eye closing. There's 3 different speeds. Phantoon can open its eye quick, medium, or slow, and then it could stay open for a short, medium, or long period of time. And already down to 34 health. Oh no.
Not good. Not good.
And not dropping any health from the little blue flames.
Got a little bit there. Got 30.
But didn't have a chance to shoot the super because trying to dodge. Or shoot the regular missile. Yep, has to farm energy, so it's going to take much longer.
Yeah, this is, I've rarely seen this. I think this is the enrage phase.
No, so the enrage phase happens if you shoot a super missile that doesn't kill Phantoon, and what he'll do is he'll sit at the top of the screen and send out spirals of blue flame.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yep, and so this is just a pattern Phantoon goes into. If you don't get the quick start to the phase. Sometimes we'll go invisible and do this, and then sometimes we'll drop flames, and those flames really hurt.
Well, he has to take.
Oh, did
he has to take back? He had to take back.
Oh, okay, yep.
It should be fine.
Oh, okay. So Osse did go into Meridia, sees the book, and is trying to get a Shine Spark up to the book. Alright, gets the shine. Oh, and keeps bumping that ledge.
That's a bit of a bonk, I would say.
And gets book, and Hitaka's one hit away.
Come on, there, and do it. Just waiting for the eye to open, and oh, didn't get it.
Gonna have to wait just a little bit. Doing okay on energy. Just needs one super missile hit. Oh no! And
Got him.
Survived it. Whoo! Alright, Mama Turtle room. I missed what the top item was. Osse found 50 rupees lower down. Wait, oh, we don't know yet. Trying to get to the another short charge Shine Spark. Oh no, hit it! So watch carefully. Yep, you see the stuttering. Oh, another sword!
That is a master sword.
Alright, again, very nice job done by Hitaka. It wasn't pretty, it took a while, but the important thing is it's done and survived.
It's also worth noting that Osse, since he did that fight so quickly, gained a lot of time on Hitaka just in that boss fight alone. So that could very well be a difference in the race. We will see what happens as we get closer to the ending phases here.
That's an excellent point. These runners are so closely matched that that boss fight was a difference of several minutes because Osse did it in just over 2 phases, and it took Hitaka 5, 6. Hitaka, in fact, hasn't even found gravity yet. About to. And Osse is already halfway through Meridia.
Yep, Hitaka will now be way down a little bit. Sorry, you can just call me blind. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see gravity suits weigh you down in the future version.
Alright, so the Wishing Well is just a set of power bombs and some rupees today. Alright. Yeah, the beginning of this seed was very friendly to our runners. Lots of key items very early on. But then as someone in chat pointed out, it's been very linear since then. Specific places to go to get more key items. And so you see both of our runners following the exact same path. Alright, so now what we're gonna see some sandpit checks here, and my guess is we are gonna see a save.
We should see a save. It's usually the runners will save in order to get a check of both pits. That way, if they don't like what they see in one pit, or even if they do like what they see, they'll go and check the other pit quickly before going back and getting what's in the pit that they want to get the item out of.
Absolutely, but go ahead and check in the speed items first before the save, and finds an E-tank, which is important in the fact that it also gives a refill. Osse was very low on energy, so a well-timed E-tank.
Very, very helpful.
And we may not be seeing sandpits first. We may just be going right to Batoon. Yep. Chad's getting in on your pun game.
Oh, they're welcome to.
These puns are really sinking in, they say.
They said aren't, but yeah.
Oh, well, you know. And Batoon down.
And wall destroyed.
We could see a Dragon fight here. I missed what the item was. Looked like it might have been a power bomb. Yeah, we may see Osse go right to Dragon. Oh, are we gonna see a? No! Did he get the Shine Spark off? Oh no! So a really difficult Shine Spark can be done to get across this room very quickly, and it looked like Osse had it. Just a few frames too late.
I missed what was in the X-ray check there, but looks like it wasn't anything he needed, so he's out of it.
That was the bottle check, correct?
Oh, that was the bottle. Okay.
That was the bottle check that I think Osse used.
Now Osse did open it up. That's why I missed that.
Oh, wants the swag net.
Yeah, he wants to be an accumulator, right?
That's right. All right, into Dragon.
Yep.
My guess is Osse, who's been showing an aptitude for short charging. We're gonna see some short charge Shine Sparks. So if you watch as Osse runs across the base of the sand here, you're gonna see a little bit of a stutter, and that is where they are charging that run on the specific pixels needed to quick charge that Shine Spark. And one more Shine Spark should do it. And might just elect to go for the old missile kill. Yep. And
wow, he's making these boss fights look easy.
very easy. If we had Charge Beam, we would have seen Microwave. To note, Charge Beam, I believe, is the only beam our runners do not have.
And he says no to the no tank.
Chat was hoping for Varia.
Well, they're kind of going against themselves here. Earlier they said they thought it was on the pedestal. Now they want to see it. Make up your mind, chat. Come on.
All right. So
Also, I find it funny that Chad is lamenting no microwave today. Just go to the kitchen, microwave something in there. You know, you think there's one in there. You can use your microwave all.
there you go. Words of wisdom.
We are getting our sand pits checked, by the way.
We will here shortly. Yep. The one thing I was surprised Osse didn't do is go and check the plasma beam room. Having screw attack, you can kill the pirates in there, and with high jump, you should be able to get out of there without too much of an issue.
So here's the save. So time to check the La Brea sand pits.
So the reason the runners do this, if you're not familiar, is because getting out of these sand pits is a very long process to get back to this room. And so if you go down one sand pit and don't like what you see, you reload your save and check the other sand pit. Saves you several minutes of time. And probably a reset.
Yeah, he didn't like what he saw. So, would you like sandpit number 1 or sandpit number 2? He said no to sandpit number 1, so we're soon going to see sandpit number 2.
I am wondering where Hitaka is heading. I guess trying to get back into Link to the Past via Death Mountain. Now that Hookshot's been acquired. Oh no, I'm sorry. Into Meridia this way.
It's worth noting, by the way, we don't have the Titans mate yet.
A very key item of progression needed for further progress in Zelda. Good call.
Yes. That's a couple of health items. That's not really worth a visit right now, so he's going to keep going.
So interesting to note, at some point, it'll be interesting to see if Hitaka, after beating Dragon, checks the plasma room. Because Osse is... Oh! Heading back up for it now. Okay. Chad asking about Shack Tool. Shack Tool is not possible yet. They don't have grapple. So Shack Tool is not in logic yet. All right, Hitaka with a beautiful Shine Spark up to grab the sword. Oh, and there we go. Here's the plasma check and just a missile pad.
And Osse resets doesn't like anything he found down there, so go back to the save point, go try something else.
Yeah, that is, I believe all the Meridia checks have been cleared now. Batwoon, yes, I believe that is all the Meridia checks done. So I think it is back into Legend of Zelda because without Varia, I think they've pretty much exhausted. There's the one check in the causeway or whatever in the bottom of Pink Bryn where we saw Hitaka farming power bombs earlier. Now that they have Speed Booster and Gravity, that's a check that could be made. Oh, and Osse is going to take the back way into Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past here, and going to come out in not Misery Mire, Dark World Ice Cave area.
And there he is. So welcome to the Dark World Shopping Mall, as we now are going to make our way around, and we're in the vicinity of Ice Palace. We can't get in there yet, though, again, because we don't have the Titan's Mitt. So he's going to have to take the long way around and try and find another way to do something over here.
So we're getting a fake flipper check. I'm guessing going to Catfish and then going to Zora.
I could see this, actually. Look, that's an interesting way to... because we usually don't see the Dark World Shopping Mall, this is an interesting way to get to Catfish. I've never actually... I don't know if I've ever even seen it in a race. So it's nice to see this in a race.
So again, Chad, if you're not familiar with fake flippering, you can trick the game... Oh, going to do the mushroom check, too. You can trick the game into allowing you to, we saw this trick earlier, but if you jump into water and on the very next frames do a screen transition in the water, the game will think, well, you screen transitioned in the water, you have to have flippers, and so it will allow you to essentially move as though you had flippers.
There is a limitation of that, though. If you are in the water fake flippering, and you get hit by anything, like even just tapped on the shoulder, you die instantly.
The game doesn't know what to do with you, and it does instantly kill you.
Now, the reason that you die, normally what would happen is you would end up soft locking. Because the soft lock would obviously be very, very hazardous to Randomizer run because you can't save and quit from that point, the developers of the Link to the Past Randomizer initially coded it so that it would just murder you as soon as you took damage. That was actually an addition by the Randomizer team when the Link to the Past Randomizer was actually being done. Initially, it did not do that. That was an addition. I don't know exactly when it was added. It was before I joined the community, anyway.
Okay.
So that was added by the developers to make because soft locking really had a hampering on races when it happened. There is your Titan's Mitt from Catfish.
There's the mitts.
The goods.
Catfish paying off. All right. Now, both these runners have been following very similar paths to one another, checking behind each other, depending on what order they want to check things at. It's going to be very important for Hitaka to follow that up. This was kind of a weird move by Osse, and so I'm curious to see if Hitaka follows up here and makes this check. All right, what is King Zora selling today?
Nothing of value, just the most expensive super mysteries you'll ever see.
And if you were watching Hitaka got the Shine Spark, but started the Shine Spark just a little bit low, so only got halfway across. Alright, I believe it is time for a lot of Link to the Past progression. Until we find Varia, there's not much else they can do in...
I would say so. They have 3 of the bosses killed in Super Metroid already, or at least Osse does. Hitaka probably most likely going to the 3rd one now. Drayden is just being entered right now. And here's the song.
Here we go, chat. Everybody was all upset earlier because we didn't hear Hitaka loose the goose. We got it taken care of now.
And Swig Airlines is now open for business on Aussie side. Call 555-DUCK for all your transportation needs. Disclaimer number does not work, please do not.
Hitaka also doing the Shine Spark Strats. Oh, we get some. Oh, we get to see what Medallion Misery Mire is.
This is good information for us. I didn't catch it.
I think it is Ether. I didn't catch it either.
I'll try to catch it on the replay here. I missed it on the replay too. It was too quick.
Haha.
Try to say Ether.
Chad thinks it was Ether as well. Okay. We might get another good look at it here. Oh, no.
No, we're just too high.
All right. We're going to get a checkerboard cave check. And my guess is we're going to get a check of the check right next to Golden Terizo.
Ooh, we have the bag of herbs and spices back here. All good for seasoning chicken. Or just for sprinkling anti-fairies.
Again, they've already done the powder check by fake powdering, but it's a good quality of life item to have.
Looks like a little bit of a bonk there by Osse, unfortunately. Getting a Gina out of the way, second try. And going through a very, very small cave outlet here. Going to enter Agina's home, which is in the second room. Very nicely furnished with 3 pillars. Don't know what the design idea is there.
I'll laugh if this is Varia.
In the chest, it is missiles.
Alright. How is Hitaka going to route this? Looks like the same way.
So Osse is well ahead on the information gathering right now because it looks like Hitaka is kind of following Osse's footsteps right now, not really getting any new information on Hitaka's side. Osse seems to be the one blazing a trail forward right now.
There's an E-Tank. Again, that's a heated room without Varia. The runners cannot spend a lot of time there because it will kill Samus rather quickly.
So for those joining us late in the match, we're almost an hour and a half in. Just noting this is the first match, the debut of the top 4 of the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Winter Tournament. We are in the top 4. Everyone in the tournament, remaining in the tournament that is sharing in the $750 prize pool. I believe first place will get 400. Second place, I believe, gets 200. Third place gets 100. And no matter what happens, these runners are guaranteed at least 4th place, which is $50.
Absolutely. For the money. These runners have come a long way, played 5 early rounds, got to the elimination stage, have won their quarterfinal match, and are on to the semis, and that means some money for making it this far. So we're getting a run through Desert Palace here.
There's the big key. Hitaka taking the quick transport here. Park container in the big chest of Desert Palace. Meh. Out he goes. And Hitaka doing a hard reset here. And on to the tower room and going through quickly after claiming the key. These tower rooms you don't have to hang out in unlike the other.
Hitaka doing the sandpit checks, finishing the sandpit checks. gonna get another boss fight here shortly.
Yay, boss fights. So it goes over the welcome mat, and for the big key welcome mat, pushes the wall back.
We're gonna see fire. Oh wait, they have silver arrows, don't they? Oh, they don't have a bow though.
They don't have a bow. Yeah, the silver arrows. You can't just, unfortunately, you can't just stab with the silver arrows. It doesn't work.
Fire rod strats work just as well, purely so.
Yep, or ice rod if they want to.
All right, Hitaka, another reset. Or gonna use this. They're gonna use this as their way out of Meridia. All right.
So Osse has cleared the boss fight for the Molas, is now on the way to Death Mountain. So that suggests to me that he probably wants to do the east side. Well, yeah, there must be some checks in Death Mountain he can do now, because obviously it's the Titans, but he can get to Turtle Rock area, he can do Hookshot Cave, he can do all
the
of
tablet?
Death Mountain at this point. Yeah, the tablet in this version does still work. The current version of Link to the Past randomizer, progression cannot be on the tablets, but in the combo randomizer, it still can have progression because it's an earlier version of the Link to the Past randomizer.
Oh, I did not know that about just the vanilla Link to the Past. No progression on the tablets.
Yeah, it's just a little I would say bug, but probably just an oversight in how the logic is set up. It's something to do with looking for a fighter sword and thinking there can't be any more progression or something along those lines. I don't know the full details of it, but for whatever happens in version 30, there's no progression on the tablets. So we're more in a version 29 setup here. That's why there's also no hint tiles, which are new in version 30 as well.
Oh, cool. Okay, good to know. And we are going to get a check of what medallions required for Turtle Rock. Let's hope it's Ether, because if it's not...
In about 15 seconds or so.
As soon as we get into the Dark World. Because these medallions can be anywhere, so if this is an Ether, we could have a long look.
Hey, here we are. It is Quake.
Alright.
So, in the famous immortal tunes of The Price is Right, bum bum ba bum, wow. But it's gonna be right here on the doorstep. That's what always happens. It tends to be on the doorstep.
You're calling in Hookshot Cave, huh? Alright.
It's happened before with Bombos.
One more check.
Annoying jellyfish. Okay, it was worth a shot.
Could still be on Death Mountain. There's still a number of checks left. Super Bunny Cave.
Which we're getting right now.
Alright.
By the way, something being pointed out in chat and we didn't make mention of, that was perfect vanilla medallions today. Ether is vanilla, Quake is vanilla on the dungeons.
Yes. Alright, back into Super Metroid. I am curious. I think there's only one check left. All of Meridia is done. Don't have Varia. Speed boost unlocks. So it could be shaft supers here, like we saw Hitaka check. So there, yeah, I think Osse only has 2 checks left.
And what are those checks?
So it's the shaft super. Oh, Osse has not come down and.
Yeah, he hasn't come down here yet.
Okay, so it'll be shaft supers, which we saw Hitaka do. And then it's going down into Pink Brinstar, the very bottom of the map, checking the causeway with speed booster and trap.
You know what I just realized they have not done yet? And I was about to say this, except chat just pointed out too. I was about to say this anyway. They have not done Sahasraral's Palace. They have not done Eastern Palace. And chat's pointing out Palace of Darkness is also open. Pyramid Ledge, I don't think anyone's checked either.
Correct. I don't think any of those checks were done. Yeah, Sahasrola's closet, I'm surprised, has not been checked. That's, I guess, it kind of out of the way to get there, but 3 easy checks.
And what they're doing is probably trying to put it off until they get the bow, but if they don't get the bow, it could be over there.
Absolutely, yeah.
We may have found our annoying item of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Could be the bow.
Yeah, because those Sahasrola's closet checks are 3 checks that don't require anything but bombs, and so very easy to be early tier logic.
It's considered a Sphere Zero check as well, I believe.
Yep. All right, so Osse finding the heart container. And let's see if they're gonna go back up or getting the moon fell down.
Hitaka finishes Lammolos meanwhile.
Again, quick work with the fire rod.
Old Mother Brain. One of the few locations I actually know the name of in Super Metroid.
That is correct. All right, where does Hitaka head? So to note, Hitaka did not go get
Ball
Titans.
side. Sorry, go ahead.
Hitaka did not get Titans yet. Has not gone to cat.
Yeah, it's a catfish. He hasn't been a catfish.
So did not take the same way out of Super Metroid as Osse did.
Now
Here we go.
He could have flew to the house and could go to the pyramid via the Dark World portal south of the house. That is possible right now, and he could check the pyramid on the way.
Yep. Yeah.
If he goes to the pyramid and he finds an item that Osse has not checked, that could be a huge, huge advantage.
This is the check I was talking about. Oh, just missiles.
The waterway?
The waterway indeed.
Hitaka is going to the castle for some unearthly reason.
Did not check Dark Cross?
Dark Cross, yeah, maybe it's Dark Cross. And he has the lamp now, so it is in logic.
So these runners, in lieu of double dipping a dungeon, are choosing to do some out-of-the-way checks right now.
Well, if you can't complete a dungeon on the first go, you're pretty much doing the same thing, wandering to check these things, as you would be going into a dungeon not knowing the items in there and might possibly happen to leave. You might as well check the out-of-the-way things at this point.
What is Osse doing? Farming power bombs? Are you gonna short charge a Shine Spark to get up into... Oh my, okay. This is a very interesting check.
That's damage boosting, to say it bluntly.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen it done that way. So this is the X-ray room. You're supposed to have either grapple or space jump to get there. But Osse just damage.
He gets the 50 rupees and then resets.
Alright, so has done the checks down there. Didn't find anything interesting. Here we go, Sahasrola's closet.
Yep, new information. Look on Hitaka right now. So in the closet today we have Peppered Sword, not a big deal. Heart container, what is that?
That is grapple. So Shack Tool, oh no. So they didn't go to Shack Tool, they had grapple. Oh boy, chat, let's go.
I know what Shack Tool is. What Shack Tool is.
Bow on Shack Tool or Quake on Shack Tool. Oh baby.
Do you remember I said at the start of the race, I've seen Bow on Shack Tool before? We might be getting a replay of that. I think Ancient Gamers was one of the runners in that race. If you want to look up the race from the pools, from the Swiss section of the tournament. I was on the call for 1 or 2 of his races, and I think the Bow was on that Shack Tool in that race, and he reacted unfavorably to that, needless to say, assuming that was the correct race. So that is one you may want to go back and look at in pools. We may be having a repeat of that right here.
And I tell you what, if we'll get a great reaction of Hitaka. Hitaka likes to show frustrated reactions when things are in awful out-of-the-way spots.
Yes, he definitely does.
I watched him find an item in Zelda and did about 4
By the
swipes.
way, sorry to cut you off. Quick note that he's actually found the map of the first chest. He is pod locked.
All right. And so chooses to mirror back and do Eastern. As much of Eastern as can be done without the bow. But yeah.
Hey.
Oh, okay. So opens up another check.
Yeah, that opens up two, except I think we might have already seen one of them. Bumper Cave, was it checked?
Bumper Cave, it was checked. I missed it. I believed it was bomb. Oh no, Blue Boomerang. Check.
Okay, so we don't want. Oh wait a minute, we want that Blue Boomerang. We want to stun enemies, don't we? Anyway, it does open, as you said, in logic. They could have probably done it with the hearts they have now anyway, and with some medicine, but now in logic, they can do, I won't say the name all of a sudden, Spike Cave.
Spike Cave. And Hitaka, forgetting that they had a hook shot, I think, took the long way around to that chest. Could have just hook shot it across.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
No.
Getting the purple chest.
Absolutely, yeah. We're gonna got the blacksmith check, and now getting purple chest check.
This is the famous chest that requires a specialist to unlock, and in the hint system in the Link to the Past randomizer, it actually refers to this as the chest requiring a specialist to unlock. If you get that hint, this is the only item, that location that it can be in.
I believe we have a guaranteed item on Armos. I lost count.
I wasn't even counting.
That guarantees
There's
not
a
on
map.
Armos.
Yeah, there's an item on Armos.
Yep, because vanilla, the vanilla big key and Armos. Shovel was checked. I believe it was just 10 arrows. We're getting another pedestal check here.
You'll be a tablet.
Or tablet check. Haven't got a print check.
The pedestal has not been checked. I don't think either. I think only one owner has a book, and the other one hasn't gone up there yet, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe Hitaka went into Meridian and got the book.
Oh, they both got it, okay. But yeah, neither has gone up there yet, probably because they've already done Skullwoods, so I don't think the pedestal will be checked. Unless we get to the point that there's absolutely no choice and they want to verify, yes, we have independent dungeons.
Yeah, I suppose Varia could still be on Ped. But yeah, we have potential for some really nasty checks still to come. Pedestal could still be in play. Definitely Shack Tool. Finding grapple there right now. Osse has not found it yet. Is about to here. That would worry me that Shack Tool is holding something important.
Quake on Ped, anyone?
Quake on Ped, yeah. Or Quake on Shack. Oh man.
No. Bows on Shack. Bows on Shack.
Bows on Shack. All right.
We'll go with that. Why not? Or it could be Quake. Or it could be Quake on Shack, Bow on Ped, and needless to say, that would mean that Turtle Rock would possibly be done before going to Eastern to Palace of Darkness, which we wouldn't even need to do anyway because it's dependent.
We're gonna ledge check. Power bombs, I think.
Oh wait, Bow can't be on pedestal because Palace of Darkness is dependent. I kind of crossed my own thoughts there.
We'll stick with your initial thought.
Yeah.
Bow on Shack and
Bow on Shack.
And Quake on Ped.
I just see that being the case now. We're kind of running out of locations. You imagine the nightmare scenario when that happens.
Osse just figuring out that pod is locked.
I see we're getting other guesses for Shack Tool. Varia at Shack Tool, what I'm seeing.
That I believe is in logic. I think that's doable. Oh, and Hitaka is about to find the item that has put Osse so far ahead.
Everyone is looking for something, and Hitaka is about to find it. Something has been found. And no rage, just all business right now. That would have qualified as a very nasty location by my logic.
Yeah, I agree. But Hitaka, like you mentioned, not raging yet. Doesn't seem too perturbed.
Now he's getting perturbed.
To the point.
Let's take two. Duck, please reset this.
Oh goodness. Somebody in chat's calling vanilla spring ball on Shek Tool. Alright, so Hitaka on their way to check some of the Death Mountain checks. I believe we already saw Osse do these.
Oh, I didn't even realize we didn't even have flippers yet. That's not lit up either.
That is correct. Somebody mentioned
flippers are in the game.
Yep, so progression items we're looking for. Super Metroid, we need Varia. And either a few more supers or Charge Beam. Charge Beam is technically required to be in logic for Ridley, even though I think these runners have enough supers and missiles to beat Ridley. And then Varia unlocks a lot of things, and a potential for Space Jump needed. We haven't seen that yet and won't until we get Varia. And then here in in Link to the Past, we are looking for Flippers, we're looking for Quake, we're looking for Bow. That's about it.
And Osse does what Hitaka did and leaves Eastern Palace. Hitaka, meanwhile, is getting his own confirmation that Quake is required, and probably not very happy to see that right now. Goes to the doorstep, will not find it on doorstep for once, under the mat.
We'll be very disappointed by doorstep checks. Gauntlet's been checked, yes. Both runners have fully checked Gauntlet. Ice Rod was in the back right of Gauntlet.
Now, Hitaka only checked one chest in Hookshot Cave.
Did they forget to have the way he's been playing? It's like
He forgot that he has the hook shot, ladies and gentlemen.
Does he have it though? He almost has to, right? It was not a real obvious spot. Next time we get a pause menu check, we might want to verify the tracker.
I'm going to keep an eye on that, but we have a pyramid check coming from Osse right now that we also have to keep an eye on here. So we're going to see what's on the pyramid. We're going to try and catch Hitaka's pause as soon as we can. Pyramid's not worth anything, so Hitaka is who I'm kind of keeping an eye on to get a pause menu check here. The good news is there's nothing. Oh, Osse bonking. There's nothing important in Hookshot Cave, but that's going to bug Hitaka.
Hitaka, Chad's mentioning Hitaka got it first. It was in a wrecked ship, and he
does have it.
Yes, and so just forgetting, based on the fact that they didn't use it on the chest in Eastern, and the fact they didn't use it to get further in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, he forgot that he has the hookshot.
That could be costly. And there's
completely forgot. Okay. Yeah, he completely forgot. That's the only explanation. He completely forgot. And that is going to be something that haunts him because Swamp Palace is a crystal. He's going to be continually looking for the hook shot. He's going to run out of places. He's going to eventually look at the menu and be like, oh, I have it. And then you'll probably see some bombs and rage sword slashes.
Alright, so Osse is into Misery Mire. It is determined that enough of these out-of-the-way checks, Misery Mire can be fully cleared, and so let's go.
It is a pendant dungeon, and he's running out of locations. He now, interestingly, I'm trying to figure out why he didn't consider Ice Palace at this point.
No flippers.
Oh, yeah, I guess he could have faked flipper, but yeah, otherwise it's not in logic. That's right.
So won't find the logic items that he's looking to progress with.
Most likely right here. And the funny thing is, I was calling the daily race last night, and the Cane of Samaria, not to spoil the race for anyone who wanted to watch it, but the Cane of Samaria was in Misery Mire, and it was last location. So this is the same thing. This is being last location right now.
Yeah, I don't believe we've the runners. I think they've pretty much exhausted all of the checks outside of dungeons.
And even for dungeons, they've exhausted all the checks. They checked the first chest, Palace of Darkness. They've checked all they can in Eastern Palace. They can't. Yep. They can't get into Swamp Palace or Ice Palace by logic. And Turtle Rock, they have the King of Samaria. That's the only other place they could go right now. And but they didn't actually know they don't have Quake. Yeah, this is the only place they can go, even in dungeons. Only place they can go.
Yeah. Hitaka checked Spike Cave. Which I don't remember if they got Cape yet, but we know Osse has Cape, and I don't think he has checked Spike Cave yet. But again, just found Spring Ball, which does not open up any new checks in Super Metroid. So these runners desperately need Bow or Varia.
Yeah, and we haven't seen anything important yet in here. There's 2 chests on the Firelock side that we should be getting to eventually, because we do have a fire rod, we do have a lantern, so we should be able to light those. It looks like we see I take the big key and go to the right side first, and hope that the map and compass or keys are on the left side.
All right, Chad's asking some questions. Kane helping us out. Yes, need Varia for Golden Torizo, so not in logic to check that. Bumper and Bat have both been checked.
He's gonna have to go left side. He found the map over here, I think.
Map was found, and then a key.
Yeah, he has to go left side. He has to go left side.
Hitaka doing the blacksmith and presumably the purple chest checks, which we've already seen from Osse. Oh goodness, what a seed.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You're gonna say what a seed, I'm sure. So we're now gonna go. He's not going north first. I'm actually surprised he didn't go north first, but unless he already did and I missed it. But he's gonna go upstairs. He's going to light some torches and do what we refer to as the cutscene chest, because we have to watch a long wall that we don't even get to watch go away. We just see the screen shaking right now, and it's like everything is suspended animation except you see shaking of the screen periodically. We're waiting for a wall to move that we can't see. He's going to drop down there, and we're down to one of 2 or 3 locations where progression could be. Most likely, this is either a Bow, Flippers, or Quake. Most likely, one of those 3 is down here, or it could be on Vitreous.
Oh, there's the Varia suit. All right.
Or the Varia suit. That's possible, too. Shot Tool is... actually, no. Yeah, that opens Golden Torizo as a location.
Yeah, so Varia suit opens up a whole bunch in Super... So Golden Torizo is going to be the first thing we see, because that's accessible right here. And again, Check Tool, we forgot, was the one thing, but... and Osse does have the grapple, yes. So
I noticed Osse left immediately as soon as he found that, so we don't know if Vitreous itself might even have another item.
All right, Golden Torizo, there was a red rupee above. I missed what was to the top left, but whatever top left item is space jump locked.
Nice kill. Osse is making these Super Metroid fights look easy.
It was a piece of heart. Okay.
Boring.
Absolutely boring. Alright, gonna farm some supers. I believe that we're gonna see a Ridley fight here pretty soon.
I feel the same. And there could be progression behind Ridley. And Hitaka praying to the gods, getting a missile.
I just hope...
Hitaka is... oh, I thought he was staring at us for a second, but he just palmed it up.
Gonna fake Flipper?
He is. Is this... I thought I might go to Ice Palace for a second, maybe not. I thought he did Hobo already.
Has not checked King Zora, I don't think.
But why is he going to Hobo then?
Oh, I don't know that he did check Hobo.
Maybe he didn't. I thought he did.
We got the water run from Osse, but I don't think Hobo's been checked by Hitaka.
Maybe not. Yeah, I think it hasn't.
I just hope Hitaka doesn't go Shack Tool. For the competitiveness of the race here, it'll be interesting to see. All right, so Mickey Mouse was a reserve tank. Osse not even saving. Ooh. I mean, we've seen him destroying Super Metroids, so...
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see him not worry about saving anywhere. So yeah, this is the path to Ridley.
We're gonna get a Power Bomb of Shame check. And... Red Meringue!
So that's the Boomerang of Shame.
Hitaka making their way up to Zora. And Osse fighting the Ninja Pirates.
And we are now approaching the final of the 4 required Super Metroid bosses as we kill the eye on the door and go in and drop down and well, oh, hi Ridley.
So 40 supers required for Ridley. Osse started the fight with 38, so we'll have to use some regular missiles. Super missiles just deal a ton of extra damage to Ridley. But making quick work of him. And again, remember, our runner does not have neither runner has charge beam yet, and so this is technically out of logic. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's 30 supers.
And will we find progression behind Ridley? There could be a bow, there could be a quake, there could be flippers back here, or a bomb.
Good old morph ball bombs. It's 40 supers for Mother Brain. My apology. Misspoke there.
It happens.
All right, so there are a lot of checks on the way out of Lower Norfolk.
And now Chad's getting the puns.
That was some beautiful wall jumps by Osse to get out of the spike pit. Oh, trying to get the short shine muck ball there.
You're being correct in chat, by the way. It's 60 from Mother Brain 2, and I actually did call a race once where someone actually did soft lock himself, or hard lock himself rather, in the point of no return where he didn't have enough ammunition. It needs 60 for Mother Brain.
Gotcha. Yeah, without charge beam, it is possible to lock yourself on both Ridley and Mother Brain. Thankfully, was not an issue on Ridley.
In the case of Ridley, you can save and then leave. You don't, like, if you don't have can't finish the Ridley fight, you can just get out of there. But in the case of Mother Brain, once you go past to where the baby Metroid discovers you, you can't go back.
Oh, you're hard locked in there. Alright, so Hitaka is making the only logical check left other than Check Tool, and no one really wants to go check Check Tool. So he's going to be happy to find Varia deep inside Misery Mire.
If he were to check Shack Tool, that would be probably a good play if that turns out to be where progression lies. But yeah, no runner wants to check Shack.
It may be getting to the point where the runners have to check Shack Tool,
Yeah.
because Osse has not found any progression yet, and I figured Varia would open up progression. They just about full cleared Super Metroid now, and so it's either Vitrius has progression or Shack Tool has progression.
And I think we've only seen one item.
Oh wait!
Now,
neither of our runners went to Bubble Mountain yet. They have not cleared a good chunk of Upper North Fair. There are a number of checks up here. I forgot we hadn't seen any of these. Speed Booster Room is still in play. Oh, so there's a number of checks over here that we're gonna get to see. Oh, and no one's gone Croc either. There's the bow! All right. This could have been checked.
That knocks my check out. That my prediction out.
Because they don't have Varia. These are all heated rooms, so they still need a Varia for. So that's why we haven't seen these yet. You can do Hell Dives in here, but in normal logic, I keep forgetting we just found Varia. That's why we haven't seen these checks yet. Not flippers for Go Mode yet. We do not know where Quake is at. So,
yeah, we do need the Quake medallion today. It is required.
So we're not quite Go Mode yet. Oh, there's
the
flippers!
flippers!
Oh, baby!
We are one Quake away from potential Go Mode here. I'm just gonna say it is Go Mode when we get Quake.
Yes. All right. Well, Varia suit was necessary. This would have been one of those routes where if any one runner would have been brave enough to do hell runs, it would have paid off. But
or if they checked the pendant dungeons first, which is very unlikely.
Oh yeah, because Kane had early access, so but getting to Misery Mire was tough. Bubble Mountain is loaded, as chat is mentioning. 2 E-tanks in this room. Goodness gracious. Chat calling Quake on Ped. Quake on Ped, Quake on Shack Tool. I think both still possibly in play.
Oh, Shack Tool's still in play. Quake can be in Shack Tool, Ped.
Yeah, Quake can be just about anywhere. That's the problem finding these random medallions, is that they can literally be anywhere.
There's only 2 places you know it cannot be. Inside Turtle Rock itself and inside Ganon's Tower. That's the only place you know it cannot be. Other than that, outside of those, it can, like you said, anywhere.
So, are we going to get a Mire fight coming up here shortly? We'll find out. At this point, with how the checks have been treating the runners here in Super Metroid,
Hitaka leaves. Hitaka left.
Alright, so Hitaka
Go ahead.
No, so Osse leaves Super Metroid and is going to use the progression items they found to keep going, and Hitaka is going to follow behind and go find the progression.
And this might be where you mentioned that Hitaka likes to leave reactions for things in bad places. Not that Bubble Mountain's really a bad place, but still.
Yeah, I think the Varia suit would have gotten a reaction out of Hitaka if we were going to see a reaction.
Yeah, maybe we're going to be clean on the reactions today.
Oh no, and Hitaka's run out of supers and does not have charge, so has to farm supers from Golden Torizo here.
Also, let's remember as well that unless he used it recently and I hadn't seen it, Hitaka had forgotten at one point that he has the hook shot. So if he still does not realize he has the hook shot, he could have more issues there too.
Absolutely.
Based on that, I would say this is Osse's race to lose depending on where Quake is.
Chat's saying that Hitaka did rage slash the various suits, so I missed it. That does not surprise me in the slightest.
No, me neither. I'd have to go back and look at that. I didn't see it.
Hitaka is such an entertaining runner. Very incredibly good at the game. It does have the world record for the randomizer, and likes to show a lot of emotion during his runs in the game. Again, this is a good time to remind you that if you're enjoying what you're watching, go follow these runners. We can link that. Yep, and somebody's got it for us in chat already.
Yeah, I love seeing some of the runner reactions too. I'm one of those runners who, I'll admit it, when I'm not being watched or when I'm by myself, I will sometimes yell at a game if I'm not enjoying what's happening in it. So I would be one of those runners who would likely rage slash something or do something funny to something.
All right,
so I can understand the reactions.
Absolutely, yeah. It's that's a really late buried various suit required for progression here.
Hey, are we gonna find Quake in here? This can be Quake. It is the big key. Can it be in the big chest of Swamp Palace?
So we've got Osse clearing Swamp Palace here, and Hitaka, if anybody's wondering, is farming super missiles. This is a quick place to farm super missiles. Hitaka was very low, and so we're getting some super missile farming.
And he seems to be happy now.
So Swamp Palace, a very linear dungeon. A series of grabbing keys and filling the passages with water so that you can swim across. Again, I haven't seen this yet because we didn't have flippers until very recently.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just said, yeah, I agreed with you.
Hookshot also required in this dungeon. We've seen some seeds in races recently where Hookshot has been in here in Swamp Palace, and so runners, out of checks anywhere but here, come in here only to find the Hookshot in here.
It's interesting to note that Osse still has 6 dungeons not marked on his tracker, including the pendant dungeons. He probably won't go back to Vitreous unless we didn't see an item they didn't see both items, I should say, in Mizumara, and Vidi could have it. Turtle Rock obviously we can't do yet. Ice Palace we just got access to recently as well. So yeah, there's still a lot of places Quake can be in here. It's gonna be very interesting to see where that turns up. But I have a feeling Osse's gonna be the first to find it because Hitaka's in the I guess Bubble Mountain as it's being referred to right now, and a map and $50 in the drain area.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If it looks like everything is going to come down to the decision for Osse to go and check Catfish sooner than Hitaka.
That was a huge advantage getting that Titan mid earlier. Hitaka collects the red boomerang and is on his way down north to Ridley.
It's to the point where Hitaka has not done really any extra checks that Osse has not done, and so Osse has a pretty commanding lead right now. It's going to come down to a situation where whoever finds Quake first, if it's in a weird out-of-the-way location.
Wow, that's a bottle of blue goo, and I honestly think it's going to come down... You're right, Hitaka has to find everything on Bubble Mountain first. It won't be until Hitaka leaves Super Metroid. If Osse has not found Quake yet by then, this is still a race, and depending on where Hitaka goes, if it's a place that Osse has not been, and he finds Quake first, he's the first to go mode, and he can still win this. But right now, based on where he is right now, he's actually way behind in the proceedings because he's only fighting Ridley now, and Osse this, what, 15 minutes ago?
Yeah, I was gonna try to time it.
I didn't, I'm just estimating.
Yeah. Approximately that, yeah. And unfortunately, this may come down to Quake being on Shack Tool and Hitaka checking it sooner than Osse.
Mm-hmm.
Osse has not checked the left side of Swamp yet, so on the way over to do that. So I'll try to note what time Osse leaves Swamp Palace completely, and see how long. But I presume Hitaka is going to head there.
There or ice. There or ice.
Oh, could be ice, yeah.
And now we have the bow, it could be in Palace of Darkness as well.
That's true. We're going to find bow and flippers, so we'll see if the routes diverge a little bit more.
Actually, doesn't Armos Knights have an item too?
Armos Knights does have an item, yes. Now that they have bow, they could go beat Armos Knights. And unfortunately, until Quake is found, every one of the dungeons is going to have to be full cleared because that Quake medallion could be anywhere.
And if it's on Armos Knights, I guarantee Osse's going to last location that.
Yes, that or Vitreous.
That or Vitreous, yeah.
Alright, we get 2 more checks here.
Not there. So, and actually, I just realized Hitaka may not even want to come to Swamp because he, again, may have.
Oh, there it is! There it is!
At 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 39 seconds, Osse101 is in
Go mode.
Go mode.
All right, so now it is Osse101's race to lose. In go mode, has a commanding lead over Hitaka, who is doing checks in his footsteps, and so off to Ice Palace, Osse goes.
And I can't see a scenario where Hitaka can come back and get this.
No,
I honestly can't.
Unfortunately for Hitaka, both these runners being so good at this stage of the tournament, they do not blow leads like this. It's a very straightforward situation, and like you mentioned, if Hitaka decides not to go right to Swamp Palace and chooses a different dungeon first, it's just gonna make it so much worse.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that he's not going to find it anywhere he's looking right now, and he still hasn't found the flippers or the bow yet. He's going through the areas right now, so he should come across them, but he hasn't found them yet.
Nope, hasn't got up to Bubble Mountain yet. He's on his way out of Lower Norfair. Right here is the transition into Upper Norfair and Bubble Mountain. He's going to check the wave beam room to get the bow first, and then we'll go find flippers by the speed booster.
Yep. He finds the no tank, he does take it, and gets the super, uses it, and there's your bow, and yep, there's the rage.
The bow got a few missiles for its trouble.
You have to be careful with that. That might actually break the curve, and it might make it unusable. You have to be careful with things like that.
That would be a tragedy to find the bow and then have it
and then
unusable.
utterly destroy it and end up not being able to complete the quest. That'd be an absolute tragedy. Total tragedy. So that qualifies as a stupid location, I guess. Let's keep an eye on Hitaka then, as Osse just go mows Ice Palace. Let's keep an eye on Hitaka and see how he treats the flippers when he comes across them.
I'm really curious to see how he treats Quake too when that's finally found.
Oh, he'll use it on the chest.
Yep.
Or ether.
Or both.
And didn't do anything to the flippers because we're in the air, so he couldn't really do much to them. Says no to the $300, and now we're gonna basically wait till Hitaka goes back to Legend of Zelda at this point.
Yep, found the progression needed in Super Metroid, and
so checking back in with Osse here, he has been go-moding Ice Palace. Is about to drop in on the. Some people like to hear him called Crackle. Being a Kirby fan, I will oblige. But Cold Stare, the boss encased in ice, we're going to free it. 3 eyes are going to be shoved into the corner rudely, and in the best way to kill them, and let's see how to be rude to do that.
For a second there,
Triple explosions.
I was wondering if we were even going to be able to tell if there were 3 eyes to the boss. Almost,
they usually get away. If you can kill all 4 in the corner, that's exceptional, but it's very rare I've seen all 3 killed in the corner.
Alright, where does Hitaka go? Thinking?
Hitaka.exe is pulling a wall.
Still thinking?
Hitaka.exe is back to the front of Death Mountain.
Want some life, probably.
Hitaka, health regained. Maximum health.
Oh!
And
What?
back. What is he doing?
I don't know.
He realized he forgot an occasion?
Well, he can go check Croc. Maybe he's thinking, I still need Quake. Croc is still... He's betting on Croc. He decided that he didn't have a clear path into what dungeon to go to, and is going to go down to Crocmire. Wait.
Keep in mind, he forgot that he has the hook shot, and therefore he's not thinking of Swamp Palace because he forgot he has the hook shot. So I kind of alluded to that earlier when we noticed him doing that in Hookshot Cave. He didn't check those 3 chests in Hookshot Cave, even though he has the hook shot. So not remembering that is possibly going to lead to a situation where he ends up forfeiting, not realizing he has it.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, this race may be over by the time he realizes. Apparently did not get into this room. It's not a real simple jump to get into here. Did he go back? Chet's saying he went back to Hookshot.
Oh, he did? Okay, so I guess he has used it since. I guess we were paying too much attention to Osse, who was checking all the new information. We didn't notice him realizing he had Hookshot after all, but that will still be something very interesting to bring up, the fact that he seemed to forget that.
Yeah, we will have to ask. Hitaka's usually good about doing post-race interviews with us, so we will ask how long it took him to remember that he had hookshot after not hookshotting over to the chest in Eastern and...
So Swamp Palace showed me something that he thinks about, and that would be a clear path right now because it is fully completable. So very interesting that he's decided he doesn't have a clear path and just went back to Super Metroid. Meanwhile, Osse has taken out the Armos Knights. We are now at 6 crystals. We just have to head up to Turtle Rock, and fair warning to everyone who is with us live, we are going to then be playing a game that, if you want your guesses to count in the game, would require you to be a subscriber or a supporter of Speed Gaming in some fashion. This would be either by being a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming channels, this being Speed Gaming 2, also Speed Gaming or Speed Gaming 3 through 6, or a donator of 250 bits or more to any of the channels. And that would make you eligible for a game that we will discuss later when that game begins, and therefore do not put your guesses in chat yet for the game that has not started yet. Thank you.
Oh no, Hitaka doing out-of-the-way checks in Super Metroid. Checked Ice Beams. There's a good chance goes down to Croc. Might even get desperate and check Shack Tool.
And to the person who did put a guess in chat, I said don't put guesses in chat for the game that hasn't started yet. Thank you very much.
Yeah, here we go. Crumble Tower. And then Shack Tool, or not Shack Tool, Croc. Oh, goodness. Quake was in the left side of Swamp Palace. All right.
So we haven't seen this guy yet today. We're gonna get to watch a Crocodile get pushed backwards and basically brutally murdered in hydrochloric acid.
And unfortunately, it would be a simple matter of one charge beam shot because of having all the other beams. But my gut says that charge beam is somewhere here behind Croc.
And as Croc dissolves, $50, and he's not very happy with that, I don't think.
No, the body language we're seeing is that of frustration, I believe, as well.
So now he gets to go to the wall of spikes, and it's like, oh, what is this doing here? This doesn't make sense.
Meanwhile, Osse is going to make quick work of Turtle Rock here.
And Hitaka being greeted by a skeleton. I'm back! Ugh.
Oh, there's charge beam. It's not behind Croc.
There's good news.
That will make Mother Brain. They have full beam, so that will make Mother Brain faster. So that is a nice quality of life item.
Yep, that'll make the trip to McBrainies a very, very tasty adventure today. Super skeleton.
And down what should only be described as the pit of despair at this point. Hitaka obviously doesn't know it yet, but going the wrong way here.
Completely the wrong way.
And this is why you do the races. This is why we run them. You never know where stuff's gonna be, and one tough decision costs you a lot.
There is a blue potion. So we know where another bottle was located.
Yes.
Was that all 4 bottles we've seen?
I believe that is all 4 bottles. Oh, we have not seen Goodbee yet.
No, you're not guaranteed to get one of each type. There is butter sword, by the way.
Just found butter. Okay.
No, he didn't pick that up, and as a result, we can confirm that Osse101 will not be getting the butter sword today, because it was located where Hitaka just hard reset out.
Oh, you're right. So we've seen 2 blue potions and 1 empty bottle. I'm trying to think if we've seen a 4th somewhere. Seems like maybe we have. Oh, yes, we did somewhere in Wreck Ship. So I believe we have seen 4 bottles. I don't know if either of the runners has all 4 bottles, but...
I want to answer a question in chat on air here, just to clarify for any of our viewers after the fact who might not be aware why he didn't pick up the butter sword. Because obviously when you get the butter sword, that's one of those nice-to-have luxury items that makes already easy combat even easier. The reason is because he would have had to spend time actually getting out of there. And from his perspective, it costs less time to... the amount of time savings on getting the butter sword and using that to kill enemies Link to the Past is not worth... or it's a much lower amount of time saved than the amount of time to get out of that area and go back to Link to the Past that way. So that's why he didn't pick up the butter sword.
Hitaka just checked the first check in Eastern Palace, maybe forgetting that had already been here?
Oops. He all started going to the second one.
Oh no. Hitaka...
he almost did, but he turned around and realized, oh, wait, I did this.
And this is what we feared, that Swamp was not the first choice. And so thinking maybe Armos Knights has the item he needs, and we know that's not the case. Well, an important thing to remember in all of this is Race 2 is tomorrow night. It takes one of these players winning 2 races in this series to move on. So this is not all doom and gloom for Hitaka. While it looks like this race may be you know, in an insurmountable position for Osse, Hitaka will be able to come back tomorrow night and win race number 2, and that'll force a race number 3. And who doesn't love an extra race? But in the meantime, we're gonna watch Osse probably close this one out here pretty quickly. All right.
Okay, so we have simultaneous boss fights here, but much different situations. Hitaka vaporizes those so-called knights that basically can't stand with a single arrow shot. Osse, meanwhile, vaporizes 2 turtle heads and brutalizes the 3rd one. And with that said, well, we'll give him a second to collect the crystal here first. So the item, as he uses more magic at the door, is a missile. Osse now has his 7th crystal. Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in chat for the big key guessing game. I already explained how the guesses count for that earlier, so I won't do that again. 1 to 22 are your choices. Big Nuki, where do you think it is today, the big key?
Oh, on certain days when I'm feeling salty, I like to bestow evil upon these runners, but I think today I'll be a little more conservative. I'm going to guess 13.
And I'm not going to put it in chat because I think my sub expired here, but I say it's always 11 because, well, always.
Yeah, if I'm feeling like the runners need some punishment, I often guess 21.
Head check. Get your hype in chat for the pedestal and some kind of flying bomb?
Just a missile pack. No fun. Yeah, Hitaka's getting desperate and does not look like Swamp is on the docket.
No, he's going to Palace of Darkness.
Yep.
And guesses are now closed. Let's look for the big key.
Alright, it was not 1 or 2.
Going to the left side, because even though he has a key, he could have done right side, and a lot of runners will go right side now because it takes less time to check those 4 chests than it does to come back to them after doing the whole left side. Some runners will also do a Dark Magician strat where they do the first 5 locations on the left and then go full right, which I don't favor that one, but oddly enough, I saw 4 runners all do that last night in the daily, so some runners do like that.
Alright, check number 4 is a small key. Check number 5 is an appropriate 5 rupee.
Ooh, fire shield. And missiles.
So 7 checks down. Both of our checks are still live.
And yeah, there's talking in chat about why he's not going to Swamp. It's because he doesn't want to waste time opening all the chests in there, and he's hoping that it's...
There was the key.
Yes,
number
it
8.
was. I'm going to go back to that in a second. So that was location number... just do the math.
8.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think it was 8.
It was 8.
Okay.
So we're going to get a winner for the game here. And with that said, the correct answer is 8. The first sub or supporter to guess correctly was Liam. Whoa, I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. It's an acronym, MWO. So Leo MWO. So congratulations, Leo MWO. You win a prize to the Turtle Rock Hot Springs, 25% off. The only hot spring guaranteed to kill you. Please enjoy.
Oh, so we have Osse doing a trick that I believe was recently discovered. He just scrolled both the enemies off the screen. Yep, just did bow skip.
This is what you call swag.
So basically what you can do is those enemies are manipulated by your movement, so you can hold a block or a wall and have those enemies move around, and then by pausing a certain time, you can force their sprites out of the edge of the map, and what happens is they despawn, and the game, without realizing the enemies, or doesn't think the enemies are in the room anymore, because they're not, and opens the door for you.
What is very, very intriguing is that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but with that, I believe you can finish the game without the bow.
Yes, yep, I believe it's they've been calling it bow skip, and I believe that is accurate, that you can finish the game without the bow by doing that.
That is very, very. It's only I've seen it once before, and I was actually commentating on that, and I was completely mystified because I'd never seen it before. I've never even thought about the concept. You can actually finish without the bow doing that. I can see that going into a major glitches format sooner or later. As
somebody mentioned, you have to do it in the next room with the BMOS. Oh, Kane of Birna for Hitaka. You have to do it in the next room with the BMOS harassing you as well. So it's much harder to do the second time around, but it is technically possible. Alright, so, again, we are just watching Osse finish Ganon's tower here, and then we'll have Mother Brain left to do. In the meantime,
we still have the big pig as well.
Oh yes, Ganon's tower, and has to fight Ganon himself.
Hitaka leaves Palace of Darkness in disgust.
And hopefully is heading to Swamp.
I think he is.
I'm guessing so.
Swamp or Ice.
If nothing else, I really want to see the reaction when he finds Quake.
Me too.
That will be well worth the wait.
That will be a priceless reaction, and we're going to get that reaction probably in about 5 or 6 minutes or so.
And as Chad is noting, Red Tunic for Hitaka was in Palace of Darkness. And a beautiful Moldorm 2 fight. One Pegasus boot slash and one spin slash.
Get the check of the final chest is just a very useless missile pack.
Yep, because Osse found the charge beam in Turtle Rock. So super missiles will be pointless to use against Mother Brain, because having all the beams now, the charge beam with all the beams does significantly more damage.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the geometry fight. We are going to learn how to, in today's class, we're going to learn how to fire beams at triangles, at the correct point of a triangle. So the correct point is currently at the right angle, and we're going to fire beams. One successfully hit. I think we have 3 or 4 hits so far.
I think it's 3.
A double. That's a double.
Yep.
Yep, we're at 5. One more shot right in the face, and there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Big Pig.
Should be a pretty straightforward fight. Have Tempered Sword, have the Silvers.
So so the only question now is, are we going to get to see Hitaka's reaction to Quake before or after Ganon goes down, that is?
Ooh.
The over-under. The over is after Ganon, the under is before Ganon goes down. Get your guesses in chat, everybody.
Yeah, get your guesses in chat. I believe that Hitaka will not find Quake before Ganon goes down.
I agree with that.
Osse has made all the bosses in both games look very trivial, and is getting a very good Ganon pattern here. Oh my goodness.
He is exceptional at this combo randomizer. I have not seen his name on the Link to the Past leaderboard specifically, but in the combo randomizer, where the 2 games are combined, he is one of the absolute top runners of this game, in my opinion. I always always notice when we're watching him on the weeklies, and I don't always watch the weeklies. I've always noticed that we seem to feature him on that a lot, because he is one of those really good runners in this game.
And Hitaka, we are definitely not going to see the reaction before Ganon goes down, because Hitaka is also rushing the boss, pardon me. same as Osse did.
So if you guess the under, congratulations, you win the absolutely nothing. The good news about getting absolutely nothing is you can always get more of absolutely nothing because there's you can't lose nothing when you have nothing.
So the torch glitch was done beautifully, and not that it was needed. Also, just finishes off the 4 shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your G in chat as Osse is now finished the first of 2 final bosses and now must go to McBrainey's. Or if we use the thing I said before, and this sounds more like a game show, it's time for the Big Brain.
It is time to take a trip to Turian, where Mother Brain awaits.
And Hitaka has taken care of the Argyle. Let's just hope he goes back in. We want to see this reaction. Ooh, nice silver arrow kill. That was nice. So blue bottle, he's not very happy to see that. That means he most likely knows he has to go back in, and he's not happy about it. So I fully expect a perfectly executed rage reaction if he goes back in.
Oh yes, the rage should be real, and we should be excited.
Back in. So we're gonna have it in about 2 minutes while we're having the baby Metroid antics on Osse's screen. We're gonna be finally finding Quake on Hitaka's screen. So this should be.
And making quick work of these Metroids with Ice Beam plus Super Missile. Again, if for some reason the runners don't find Ice Beam in a run, 3 power bombs will kill the Metroids. But Ice Beam makes it quite simple.
And welcome to the point of no return. That door goes gray behind you, you can't go back.
Alright, it appears we have a baby skip attempt coming because Osse's not damaging themselves. Oh no!
Oh, that didn't work at all.
No, the timing on that was not good. And we are approaching our moment of excitement on Hitaka's screen.
Quote unquote excitement.
Yes, we never want to see anyone suffer a tough defeat, but Hitaka makes the reactions really good, and so I'm expecting good things here in just about a minute.
Oh no, it'll be more about 10-15 seconds.
Oh, yep. They just got a hook shot across the gap. Never mind. Alright.
Okay, here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. What will Hitaka do to this poor chest? So while that's exactly what I thought. He just uses Quake on its own chest. But at 2 hours, 38 minutes, and 40 seconds, Hitaka is in go mode, but way too much left to do. Osse just has to take out McBrainy, and that's all. That's gonna be the race.
Yep.
So at least I got one prediction right today. He used Quake on its own chest.
And Zeb skip. Yep.
Got it.
All right. That's about the only trick left. We might see a stand-up glitch. We'll find out.
And Osse destroys one bottle you don't want to pick up. Now you're locked in, and you notice the map disappears as well because it's like literally transports you to another dimension, so to speak. The map is not up there anymore for the final fight. And this brain falls on the floor and turns gray, and oh, hi! So I've been calling this McBrainies all game. It's because of the various attacks. I've got this from another commentator, by the way. So there's, I'm not sure what that one's called, but there's the onion rings. That was a French fry. We should see a ketchup beam here. That was another French fry. There's a ketchup. What is that little rolling ball called?
I don't remember what they call it. But again, charge plus ice plus plasma plus wave, making very quick work. Oh, they call them the meatballs.
Ah, meatballs, yeah. So going for the stand-up glitch here, which is normal protocol for Aussie. So he's going to make sure he's in the air at various points when the game checks to try to turn him into a immobile Samus.
So what this allows Aussie to do, and you have to be careful doing this because it's off like pretty.
Yeah.
But this will allow Aussie to start getting some hits in during what is normally a cutscene where Samus is stuck in place, standing, watching this happen. Now, none of the hits Aussie starts doing matter until after Mother Brain is not great. So these hits are just for kind of muscle memory, whatever you want to call it. None of these hits matter until Mother Brain starts to gain some code. And if this is done correctly and ideally, and having all the beams kind of classifies as that, we might see Aussie only have to do one hit with the rainbow beam.
Let's see how far he takes it. I think it's about, what, 40 hits?
I don't think it's even that many with this beam combination.
Yeah. You want to pay attention to the coloring, because I think it still will change colors. There you go, see a darker shade of red.
Starting to get that dark
shade, you don't want to hit it anymore, or you can soft lock yourself. And there's getting very close right now.
And
so
one.
Done. Fight.
Yep, fight done. One rainbow beam shot because of all the extra damage done. So in a very close race, taking the risk to do stand-up glitch can really matter. But again, if you take certain motions at certain points, you will soft lock the game.
So it's time for the escape. That means we're going to be seeing Aussie done in probably about a minute and a half or so. So we're looking at a possible 244 here, maybe just somewhere in that range. Hitaka, meanwhile, taking out the Crackle Eyes.
Alright, making quick work of the escape here. We're going to see one more Shine Spark here in just a moment to get up the tower. I'm guessing we're not going to see any animals being saved. There's money on the line.
Probably not. There won't be any ammo saving for any winners in these races, I think. Nope. Animals are going to die today. So, ladies and gentlemen, well, actually, sub 244. I guess I estimated the escape incorrectly here.
With an official SRL time of 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 33 seconds.
Get your GGs in chat. And immediately following that, Hitaka has just forfeit the race, which we expected, unfortunately.
Yep. Once that done was put into the chat, Hitaka knew it was over. So we have Aussie standing by for an interview here shortly. And right now,
and
congratulations.
Hitaka will probably be coming in too.
GG, Aussie.
GG.
GG. Very well done race.
Yeah, it was. I'd like to comment on the baby skip at the end there. So I was grappling the hopper, and it did an extra hop. And so that put it in a place that I've never seen before.
Oh, okay. We wondered about that because it looked like you were going for it, and then it just completely failed.
Yeah. Like I line up against the edge of the screen, but this time it jumped like past the border of the screen. And so that's what happened there.
Oh, well, thank you for the clarification. Hitaka, welcome. GG's.
GG.
GG.
So before we get into the seed, I think the turning point, and I think you guys talked about it in the chat a little bit, was finding Titan's mitts. Osse made a quick play after defeating Dragon, left Meridia, and was able to find Titan's mitts very quickly with a quick play up to Catfish, and that kind of put you ahead. And talk about the logic behind that play.
I just did it because it was a cute play. I was coming out of that portal anyway, and so it's like, haha, I can fake flipper to Catfish and check it real quick. It had mitts, so that just worked out really well.
Yeah, I've done that before with real flippers, but not fake flippers.
Yeah, this it's such an interesting seed because a lot of key items really, really early, and then a lot of very linear progression through the mid game.
And I actually noticed the fake flippers to Catfish as well. I can actually say this. In all the time that I've been in the Link to the Past randomizer community, even before this combo randomizer even started, in all the time I've been in Link to the Past random community, since version 26 or so, I have never seen fake flipper to Catfish. That's the first time I've ever seen it, and boy, did that pay off.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. Actually, probably the most common use for it is for Dark World access before flippers. But it's really rare that I do it.
Yeah, and it's not really possible or viable in normal Link to the Past random.
Exactly.
You
That's
can't even
probably
get
why.
over there without flippers.
Yeah.
Oh, because coming out of the portal in Metroid makes it accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be entrance randomizer
Yeah.
to ever see that.
You could probably do it with if you get over to let's say from Aghanim, if you if you hit an Aghanim seed, you could probably get to Palace of Darkness, and then maybe there's a way to fake flipper down there. No, you can't. Never mind, you can't do that. You'd have to get to the South Shore somehow.
You can fake flipper from the Dark World potion shop, the Dark World Witch hut, and take the portal back, the whirlpool back to where the Meridian
True.
portal.
Oh, okay. So both of you checked Sahasrah's closet pretty late, found that grapple beam. Did either of you fear that maybe Shaktul had something?
Yep.
Yeah. But that's always a possibility, but I was already done with the rest of Meridia, so I just wasn't going back there.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of you were, and so we were hoping that it wouldn't entice anybody to go back there, but it was to the point where you were on last possible checks there for part of the mid game, trying to find that progression.
Yeah, Vere was not in a very friendly spot. Pendant Mire isn't something you want to do because Mire's a mess of a dungeon, and only 2 items makes it not very enticing.
And it was buried deep in Mire too. Worst case scenario there.
Yeah.
Yep, that was another decision Osse made pretty quickly. Both of you made it rather quickly, but Osse had it right there after finding mitts on Catfish and kind of just started pulling away from there.
Yeah, Pendant Mire is kind of always on my mind when I get the medallion for it. Because if you try to follow logic, then you see a medallion, you see it opens Mire, and then there's probably something in there. But it's a big time commitment.
Now there is one thing I have to ask, and I don't. And this is something we were discussing at one point, Hitaka. At one point, did you forget you had the hook shot?
Somewhere along there. I mean, I got on a wrecked ship, and then it wasn't useful at all for like an hour. So I guess I forgot I had it at some point.
We noticed you went to Hookshot Cave and checked the first item, and I had also And it was pointed out by Big Nuki that you didn't use the hook shot to get to the chest in Eastern Palace. In both cases, you had the hook shot, so we were a little bemused and wondering if maybe our tracker accidentally marked it. But then we realized, no, you found it first. He obviously has it, so we just thought you must have forgotten you had it.
Yep, I did.
So, well, a great race. Tough, like you said, tough Varia location. Are you guys excited for round 2 tomorrow night?
Can I just one more thing before that? Another thing about the Varia is I was thinking, maybe if Varia's being elusive, maybe Suitless Norfair is a possibility, but it was so stingy on energy tanks that was never really going to be an option.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because you found 2 energy tanks actually in Bubble Mountain,
Yeah.
in that Northwest Missile Room, and yeah, I thought about the same thing. After we discussed the possibility that you could have done Suitless Norfair, is that you only were on, what, 4, maybe 5 E-tanks at that point?
I was on 5 when I did Lore Norfair, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the game, we were watching both your energies very closely because Suitless early on, taking on some of those enemies that deal up to 80 damage a piece in Brinstar as you're trying to find progression. And I think when you did it, you didn't find Screw Attack quite as early as Aussie did, and so it was definitely you had a couple close calls there.
Yeah, I think I was actually in Pink Brinstar with no energy tanks and would have been one hit killed by the big side hoppers. But with Plasma plus Wave, they died in like 2 hits, so it wasn't a huge issue.
Yeah, one of you, and I can't remember which runner it was, but went into the wave gate room in Pink Bryn and almost ate it from the big hopper. So I think down to 19 energy.
Oh, that wasn't me. I didn't get hit, so.
All right, yep. So we were definitely monitoring that as both of you in Brinstar Suitless with pretty low energy.
Yeah, I had Screw Attack, but it let me down a couple of times. It, turned off at just the wrong time. I got hit by the big hoppers.
Yep. But nobody ended up taking any deaths, so well done there. That can be a real tricky area. How about the the Fantoon fights?
Yeah, I almost died on Fantoon. That was terrible.
That was one of my best Fantoon fights.
Both Cyclone and I were really impressed. You almost two cycled it.
I found, and I gave you some praise, Aussie, during the race because I know we've seen you race a lot on the weeklies, but all of your boss fights on the Metroid side were absolutely superb in this race. I don't think there was much fault for any of the fights. Dragon was incredibly quick. I don't think I've even seen it done that quick before. And Fantoon, impressive for the amount of health you had, and that. So very, 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 very well executed boss fights, especially in Super Metroid, but obviously in both games as well.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, never fun to go into Fantoon Suitless on 2 E-tanks. And I think Hitaka, you went in with even lower energy. You stopped to farm 1 or 2 energy drops and then just went for it. And before going into the fight, and then Fantoon was not real kind to you with those patterns early on.
Yeah, I shine sparked across Ocean and I killed one of those skull dudes for a drop or something, but I had 160 going in or something like that.
Yep, and came very close to dying there too, but was able to farm back up and get through it. And then turns out Wreck Ship paid off big time. A couple of progression items in there.
It sort of paid off, but also led us astray. Because that gravity didn't lead to anything. And Hookshot we couldn't use for a long, long time.
Yeah. And then after those 2 right up front, the rest of Wreck Ship was garbage, so.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty bad. You took the swag net, and there was really nothing of note. All right. Well,
Oh,
great run by both you guys. Just a slight difference in routing there kind of made the difference. And then having that Varia buried deep.
Very deep.
So we should probably start wrapping up. Any final thoughts on the seed or on the race or on this tournament?
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow night.
Yep. Thanks for commentating.
Thank you. Thanks for the good runs, and we're looking forward to another great race. You guys are both really entertaining runners, very, very good at what you do, obviously. You've made it this far, and so we're pulling for some more excitement tomorrow night.
Yep, we're looking forward to a great second and possibly, if we get to it, third race in the series. Obviously, all four of the top four runners are excellent runners, so it should be a great Final Four all the way for the remainder of this tournament, and to find out who eventually wins this tournament as well. And Osse could very well be that winner. Hitaka can still win if he pulls out the next two. So definitely stay tuned for the rest of that series. It will continue tomorrow, same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Channel not yet assigned. I don't see the channel assigned yet for it, but it'll probably be either Speed Gaming 1 or 2. Possibly 3. We'll see what comes up. In the meantime, let's look at the schedule for tomorrow a little bit, just to let you know what else is going on tomorrow. We do have the afternoon starts at 2 o'clock. The day starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time. Portal 2 and a Link to the Past Daily Race Standard seed coming up tomorrow. 6 p.m. we have a Delta Rune race. And obviously we have the big race for this series, for this tournament tomorrow night at 8:30. There's also some Zelda 1 Metroid 1 randomizer going on at 11 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow as well. So that's a late event that they do. I think they do like a couple of weeklies each week. I think they have 2 races each week, both in that time slot. And that's where that's another combo randomizer just like this, but on the NES games instead. So another option to check out as well, after checking out this race, of course, tomorrow. So with that said, let's remind you to follow the Speed Gaming channel and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. Want to thank the runners. Follow them. Their links are in chat. You can also follow our wonderful tracker, Mind of Me, who was helping out with clicking the buttons this evening. Thank you very much for that. And also my co-commentator, Big Nuki. Pleasure working with you.
Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure. I love commentating great races, and we saw another great one tonight. And so thanks for doing commentary with me. Thanks again to the runners for putting on a great show. And thanks for everybody for tuning in tonight.
And even more importantly, thank you, chat. You are the most important. I want to say you are the most important people in this chat and viewers on after the fact here on Twitch and also on YouTube, where this will eventually be uploaded when we're done calling this race. So for those of you watching on YouTube, keep an eye on the playlist. If you're on the playlist, the next race in the series will be following this. If you're watching live on Twitch, we are done our broadcast day here, and I want to wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you again for watching wherever you are, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good night, and may not all your seeds be pet seeds. Good night.
Good night.